A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Children of Israel, that they bring unto thee pure oil olive, beaten for the light, to cause the lamps to burn continually in the tabernacle of the congregation. And it shall be a statute forever in your generations.
The eternal light. The National Broadcasting Company and its affiliated independent stations make free time available to present The Eternal Light, a program which comes to you under the auspices of the Jewish Theological Seminary of America. Today's program, The Embers Still Burn by Peter Lyon, is based on the book The Embers Still Burn by Ira Hirschman.
Spring comes early in Israel, and in the earliest days of spring comes the festival of Chamishah or Sor B'Shvat, the holiday of Tu B'Shvat, the new year of the trees. A year ago, in one of the kibbutzim, in the school of the collective, a teacher gathered her young teenage pupils around her. They stood in the meadow and looked north to the mountains of Galilee.
Tu B'Shvat. I don't need to tell you, do I, children, what the holiday tomorrow means? Tanya, you tell us. Or, no, you tell us, Ruth.
It is Judgment Day and New Year's Day for the trees. So tomorrow we will go out, each of us, to plant a tree which we're to watch over. Make sure it flourishes in our land.
The land we've loved for so many centuries, and which now once more is flourishing. Now come along, all of you, back to our room, and take back with you a memory of this sweep of green, the fields, the flowers, all the way to the purple of the mountains there. It's a fine land. Tomorrow we'll help make it better. All right, now, come along, all of you.
Teacher.
Yes, Ruth?
Can I talk to you just for a moment?
Certainly. What's the matter?
Nothing with me. Only, well, why does Chanya always act so quiet and so out of things? She never really, joins in with us. Just now when you asked her the question, she knew the answer, didn't she? Is there anything the matter? Isn't there some way we can help to... Oh, I don't know.
Wait. Come here, Ruth.
It's just that we all like her, but she seems so apart from us. Do you know why she's like that?
I don't think anybody in this world knows entirely why Chanya is like that, Ruth. I know a little of the story. It would take a dozen, maybe 50 people to tell all of her story. Maybe if you heard some of it, you'd understand more why Chanya is quiet, not like the rest of you.
I only thought because tomorrow's holiday is supposed to be gay, we're to have fun.
Yes. Here's the story. And remember, it should be told by other people.
I can tell part of the story. I know how it begins. I'm Chanya's mother. 10 years ago, we lived in a small city in southwestern Poland. The name of the place is unimportant, for Chanya was only 5 years old then. By now, there are so many scars on her mind that they've blotted out the memory of its name. 10 years ago, my child had already learned some sorry lessons. She knew what terror was and dread of something unknown. She was versed in sitting straight and big-eyed and still, waiting as her father and I did for she didn't know what.
Mama?
Yes, Khanya?
There are so many of the trucks, Mama.
Yes, dear.
3 whole days now, and then 2 nights as well. I was watching. I shouldn't go outside to watch, should I?
No, dear, just sit here with us. If you like, maybe in a little bit, Papa will read to you.
I wish...
Yes, dear.
Nothing. I started to think of Dutzer. I know I must not think of her. I remember what you told me. But I wish that Dutzer was here to play with me.
Dutzer was my niece, Khanya's cousin. Just her age and her closest friend. She'd been killed many days before when the bombs fell. Now there was little for Khanya to do but sit in the kitchen with us, listening as the heavy trucks rushed by bound east, watching us curiously, borrowing our fear, wondering why we trembled when there came a sudden knocking at the door. Quick, can you see? Out the side window.
Who is it, Mama?
Get back, Khanya.
Take her back to the closet today. You know, the place I built.
Is it?
It's them, all right. Go on, quick. I'll talk to them.
Mama!
Here. You remember this back closet? How Papa fixed it for you to play in.
There's a man here, a woman, and a child. Yes?
But who is that?
A child?
Is that one of
Khanya, darling, no questions.
have
Just
no
sit here very quiet. Don't say a word and I'll be back.
Well, must be a mistake in your record, sir. My wife and I live here alone.
You told there was a child.
Sir, our daughter,
Yes?
she was killed.
Oh. You too. You have to come with me. Quickly, to the square. No need for questions.
It will not be for long.
Oh, Becky. Not for long.
If I might, just to get my coat.
There's no need. All right. Quickly. You.
Yes.
Wait for outside. All right. Next house. We have got to get this blocking.
Khanya, baby.
Mama, there's no air.
Khanya, listen to me. Remember now what I tell you. Mama and Papa have to go out now for a little. We'll be back, baby. We'll be back.
But how long
Look, there's food here in this box. Khanya, listen.
I am. But, Mama, I want to go.
Khanya, if Papa or I don't come back by tomorrow, you're to walk straight to Aunt Sophie's. You hear? Tomorrow, if we don't...
But, Mama...
Come along now, Becky. Quick, march.
Goodbye, little bunny. Be good. Her father and I marched off to the square. Her Aunt Sophie was already there when we got there, so I knew Khanya would find no shelter where we'd planned. We didn't go back to our home. We didn't see Khanya again. This and that happened to us, until at length there was nothing left to happen to us. So that's all I can tell of Khanya's story. I can tell the next part of Khanya's story. I saw her first, let's see, it will be 9 years this summer. We lived, my husband and I, in a little country town in Slovakia, not far from the old Polish border. I had risen early that morning. I was in the kitchen when I heard a sound. Some dog, I thought, nosing around the garbage. Go away, go, shoot, yeah, oh, I'm sorry, I thought. Oh, never mind. What's your name? Come here, won't you? Don't be frightened, I won't hurt you. See, my hands are open. Do you speak? Do you hear? Here, look. Fresh milk, see? And good bread. It's warm. And here, eggs. See? Won't you come?
Please.
Oh, you poor darling. Come to me. Oh, so thin, so cold.
Are you crazy? We daren't keep her here.
Nonsense.
Stop washing those dishes. Listen to me. You're out of your head.
Look at her. She's eating her third breakfast. Perhaps I shouldn't permit her to eat so much. Ah, but just look how thin she is.
Will you listen to me? You know there are a dozen informers in our own village alone would make sure the Germans found out. How do we know who she is, where she comes from? Perhaps the child of one of the men of the underground.
Nonsense. She doesn't even know a dozen words of our tongue.
Even worse? A Jewish child, perhaps.
Stop shouting. She's frightened enough as it is. All right, eat. Pay him no mind. Men are like this.
Hasn't even a name.
Certainly she has. Hanya's her name. She told me just before you came in. All right, it's all right. You see, she heard me use her name. The food is good?
Seriously now, Lisa, charity is one thing. But to take in this Jewish child when...
Who knows? Says she's Jewish? You're going to pretend you can tell by looking at her? Or maybe you have a letter from Hitler himself that says so. I say she's a poor, frightened, hungry, homeless orphan girl whose only father at the moment is our good Lord in heaven. And he whispered in my ear. He said, Lisa, your own daughter would be this poor child's age now if she hadn't died 2 years ago. He said to me, Lisa, take this child in and hold her to your breast and then make her yours.
Did he say what you should do if an informer tells the Germans?
He didn't need to, for I know. The world shall know this child is mine. But she is. She's mine and she's yours. She's our daughter. And so we both shall treat her.
But I...
Enough. Go about your work. I'll be busy for the next 3 hours cleaning the life out of our poor child's head and scrubbing her clean all over and finding a dress from that chest in the attic to clothe her poor scabbed body.
All right, have it your way.
Wait. You're surely not going to your work without kissing your daughter first.
She's just the age our own would have been at that, isn't she? What did you say her name was?
Hania. She was Polish, I think, until today.
Hania. May I kiss you, Hania?
Please?
It's the one word of ours she knows so far.
That's for our new love for you, Hania. May it grow.
She was an eyeful, our Hania, when she put on some weight and remembered what it was like to smile. We loved her very much, and she loved us, I know. She called my man father, and she called me mother. We were together 2 years and a little more before the Nazis forced my man to go to work in Essen and forced me to work in Dusseldorf. They told us they would take care of Hania. They lied to us, of course. They never told us where they took her. She disappeared somewhere in the Third Reich. And that is all of her story that I know.
I can tell some of Hanya's story. I can't tell the details of it, but I know the general outline. But I was one of the people who figured out what happened, not only to Hania, but to some thousands of European children. Nobody knows exactly how many thousands, perhaps as many as 100,000. In the summer of 1945, 2 years after Hania would have disappeared without a trace, I was in Germany working for UNRWA, the United Nations Relief and Rehabilitation Administration. I remember the first hint we got of what had happened to Hania and to the others.
You've got a minute, Sue.
Miss Blackie asked me to show you this breakdown of some letters that have been sent to Shave. Connie, what is all this? Well, don't you remember those letters that kept coming in asking for Shave to find missing children? Blackie asked me to break the list down and turn it over to you. Said that you would. Yes. It all fits in all right. Fits in? With what? We've been checking over some German papers, documents, orders, material from the Rasse- and Siedlungsamt. Well, what's that? Race and Settlement Office. The Nazi device for kidnapping children and raising them as Germans. What? Sir? Festung des Deutschtum, the NSV, Lebensborn. They're all just agencies for kidnapping children. These letters you've analyzed, Betty, they'll help us track the kids down if we can. Kidnapping? What, on a mass scale? Here, Betty, look at this instruction order. Himmler sent this out. Look. Treatment of foreign nationalities in the East. Here. Objectives of these schools will be arithmetic calculating up to 500, writing of the pupil's own name, knowledge about a high godly power, obedience to the Germans, reading not important nor necessary. I never saw this. And here, look, see this? Quote,
The child will remain in Germany after graduation, unquote. And here's another one, quote, our ideals and convictions will find good ground in the souls of these children who are not German solely due to the injustice of history, unquote.
Then all these children whose parents have written to us...
No. Not all were kidnapped, I imagine. Many were probably killed. But we'll be doing a lot of work from now on, just in trying to find out which are still alive and where.
But...
Yes?
Look, I guess I'm stupid, but why should the Germans have done it? More mouths to feed and...
Betty, think. Say they kidnapped 100,000 of these children. Children who were, say, from 4 to 10 years old. They bring them up in Germany. They're German. In 15 years, when these children are 20, 25 years old, Germany is strong. The other countries had been robbed of a whole generation. That was the Nazis' plan, and we discovered it almost by accident. Here's one letter we came across, written by a Nazi authority to one Joseph Schwarzkopf in the town of Schonanger.
Because of your German descent, you were given 3 months' notice to join the German community. As you did not take this opportunity, you and your Polish wife will be expelled from Schonanger. Should this restriction be exceeded by you after above date, you will be taken to a concentration camp. Your children under 21 I have taken to a social welfare installation.
And here's another letter. A form letter that was used in the case of illegitimate babies.
The application for abortion put in by the mother was not approved, as the baby can be expected to have racially good qualities. It is desired to take the child after its birth under the care of NSV.
So, armed with a little information and a little luck and a great deal of persistence, we went looking for records. We found them in Lodz, in Katowice, and in Prague. The evidence of how children, 5,000 at a time, had been swept up and gulped down into the Third Reich. And somewhere among them was Heine, by now 10 or 11 years old. And that's all I can tell of her story.
I can tell the next part of Hanya's story. My name is Ira Hirschman. I was Special Inspector General for UNRWA in 1946. I first heard about UNRWA's child search teams and why they had to be set up when I got to England. I was most anxious to watch them in operation. In Arlsen, UNRWA's German headquarters, I was told a little about the work.
Some more have been found, sir, at Hanover.
How? How do you do it?
Well, it's luck sometimes. This time, for instance... Well, the Catholic padre came in to ask us for medical supplies for 30 tubercular children at a German children's home.
Mm-hmm.
So Blackie went over, she asked some questions, and she found out that of the 30, 19 were children who had been kidnapped.
19 out of 30?
Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, sir, we got interested and talked some more with the nuns in the home. That's how we got clues to, it must be 200 more children. There were 50 in a town south of here, and now we know of 150 more at Hanover.
And when you find them?
Well, we talk to them, question them. Try to find out if they can remember any of their past. Perhaps a train trip or...
I want to see for myself. Are any of these children here at Arlsen?
Well, they're interviewing some of the children that were found 40 miles south of here.
Well, take me where the interviews are going on.
Come along, sir. I'll show you.
Peter, will you go over there on the bench and sit down now?
Now then, you're next, aren't you? And what's your name?
Hanya.
Just Hanya? Haven't you a last name, Hanya?
Well, here they called me Hanya Blucher because I lived with Frau Blucher. But before that...
Yes?
Before that, I lived with some people.
Do you remember where, Hanya?
No.
Чи ти розумієш ця тараш мовін?
I beg your pardon?
Verstehst du, was ich sage?
I am sorry.
Wie hat deine Sprache gewohnt?
My parents lived in Poland.
Now, Hanya, listen carefully to me.
Ask that question in Yiddish, and the child answered.
Yes, sir. Occasionally we find a Jewish child.
The Nazis apparently made mistakes, too, when they turned kidnappers.
Of course, her parents, Hanya's parents, are probably...
Yes, I know. The chances are she's an orphan. In that interviewing room in Germany, I saw the real victims of war. Once war was a game of flaming swords and brilliant uniforms fought on distant battlefields. Now the battlefield is the whole world. One child, speechless from torment and terror, utters more truth than the bombast of all the speeches of diplomats. Who will hear her? Who will pay heed to Hanya?
I can tell the next part of Hanya's story. I work for a welfare agency. The officials at UNRWA turned to my organization for help in finding Hanya a home when it became clear to them that the child was an orphan. And I helped to find her a home. She is with a kibbutz, a collective in Israel.
Ruth?
Yes?
The story was for your ears. Not so that you would go run to the others and tell them all about it, but so that you would understand and help them to understand.
I never knew about the kidnapping.
A fire as great as the one that swept Europe leaves embers, Ruth. The embers still burn.
You mean the embers of fascism?
Yes. And among those embers, there probably are still more children like Hanya, waiting to be found, waiting to be returned to their proper home.
And now I'm going to speak to Hanya. Oh, I wonder where we're going. Come on. Where are the things we're playing? Are these the nurslings? Come on, let's go. Hey, look how many there are. There are far too many.
All right, everybody, quiet, children. Before we start, Ruth has an announcement. Go on, Ruth.
Oh, it's not my announcement, really. It's Hanya's. We talked it over together, and you tell Hanya.
Well,
Go on.
Ruth and I were talking. We thought of how there are still in Europe many children, some of them orphans, like some of us. Children who have not their proper home. We talked of how these children are still being found, still today. And we thought it would be right if each of us planted not one tree for Tu B'Shvat, but 2 trees. 1 tree for each of us, and another. The second tree for the child we hope will be joining us here in Israel, here in our kibbutz, before this year is over. And we will care, each of us, for his own tree, and each of us for that 1 extra tree, planted with hope that the lost will be found and come home.
If you would like a copy of today's script, please send your name and address with 10 cents to cover the cost of postage and handling to the Jewish Theological Seminary, 3080 Broadway, New York 27, New York. We're honored to present today Dr. Vera Weitzman, Honorary Chairman of World Jewish Child's Day and wife of the President of the State of Israel, speaking by transcription from Israel. Dr. Weitzman.
Jewish Child's Day. 3 words only. But what a drama, what memories, and what hopes do they evoke. 15 crowded years from the darkest hours of Europe's Jewry to the finest hours of Israel reborn. Years of incessant effort to rescue the remnants of a doomed community, of building a homeland for a homeless nation, of opening the gates of life to its forsaken children, children of the world's unforgettable moral storm. From the very first days, Youth Aliyah has stood in the forefront of this unique battle. The 16th anniversary of the arrival of the first group of children brought to the homeland by Youth Aliyah. From that day in 1974 until now, 45,000 children have been redeemed, educated, trained, and absorbed, and more than 15,000 are being cared for at present. They were educated and trained in centers established in 220 settlements throughout the country. A tremendous task in itself, if one realizes that each of these children carried with him his own story of poignant suffering, claiming infinite love and patience, and that wise understanding which we find expressed in the advice of Proverbs: train up a child in the way he should go. Ultimately, there is one way only along which they have to be guided: the way of a constructive life, of becoming useful members of their community, conscious of their freedom as citizens of a free society, and endeavoring to respect their duties not less than their rights. Is there anything parallel in the history of mankind? Children instinctively give back to life what life has given to them. Child's days come to remind us that the task is by no means finished. While the work in Europe is in its final stage, a new and equally important and urgent chapter has already been inaugurated with the object of rescuing Jewish children from Middle Eastern countries. You will no doubt have heard of that amazing operation which has been called the Magic Carpet. Reports of the rescue of the Jews of Yemen read indeed like a modern version of Tales from 1001 Nights. Or should I say, from 1001 Nightmares. But Yemen is only one of many countries in the Middle East and North Africa, where thousands of Jewish children are breathlessly waiting to be brought to the land which is awaiting for them. And this Child's Day, I call from my home at Rehoboth on all our friends, Jews and Gentiles, young and old, to help us carry out a task imposed upon us by history, to give in the comfort of their own homes a moment's thought to this host of anonymous children whose eyes are turned towards us.
Thank you, Dr. Weitzman. Our Eternal Light drama today, The Embers Still Burn, was written by Peter Lyon and is based on the book The Embers Still Burn by Ira Hirschman. The music was composed by Morris Momorsky and conducted by Milton Catons. Cantor Robert Siegel sang the liturgical introduction. The production was under the direction of Frank Papp. Free time to present The Eternal Light is made available by the National Broadcasting Company and its affiliated independent stations. This weekly program is presented under the auspices of the Jewish Theological Seminary of America.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Command the children of Israel that they bring unto thee pure oil olive, beaten for the light, to cause the lamps to burn continually in the tabernacle of the congregation. And it shall be a statute forever in your generations.
The Eternal Light. The National Broadcasting Company and its affiliated independent stations make free time available to present The Eternal Light, a program which comes to you under the auspices of the Jewish Theological Seminary of America. Today's program, Dream No More, by Joseph Crumgold, was adapted from the motion picture of the same name.
Your name?
Shlomo Volmus.
Age?
27, Doctor.
Any chronic illnesses?
Chronic?
You know, any weakness you've suffered again and again, really serious?
Hunger.
Mm-hmm. Please step behind the fluoroscope.
What was the use of this? How could they find out what was wrong with Shlomo Volmus? It wasn't his heart. It wasn't his lungs. These things had kept going. A whole continent had organized to stop the heart of Shlomo Volmus, to keep the air out of his lungs. His death was numbered, recorded, and down on the books. But I'd won. Against a whole continent. Against a 10-year campaign to put an end to me, I'd kept alive. That was my victory. I had arrived in Israel.
Very good, Shlomo. Step aside. You're all right.
It's all over?
Yes, just step aside, please. You're fine. The nurse will fill out your card.
This was my victory. The only thing for which I had fought so long. Now it was taken for granted. I took my certificate with me when I went to the labor office for my job interview.
From this medical report, seems like you're in fine shape.
Well, it's not so much to be proud of.
No, maybe not. What do you think of Israel?
Like a friend of mine was saying the other day. It's nice.
Well, how do you feel about it?
Well, I agree with him.
Making up your mind slowly, is that it?
I don't want to take anything for granted. In case something happens.
Oh, yes. Well, to start filling out some of these papers, Shlomo, do you have any craft?
No, sir.
What particular skills?
None.
Then what kind of work have you done?
Not really any kind.
Nothing.
Well, you know the way it was 10 or 12 years ago. Before things happened in Europe, I never did get the chance. I was too young for any real work.
No previous employer.
I don't know if it's worth mentioning, but I was starting to learn to be a busboy.
Just starting?
Well, I know it isn't much. I know you can't march out in the desert in an apron with only a little tray and make over the whole country, but that's all I've ever done.
That's all right, Shlomo.
What did you say?
I said it's all right. Let me get through these papers.
He wasn't angry. He laughed. He just sat there filling out one paper, then another, as if I were someone really important.
You know, Shlomo, my suggestion for you...
Yes?
You've worked a little around food. How would you like to try growing it?
If you're willing to take the chance, I am.
Good. I'll recommend you to a farming settlement, a well-established kibbutz, Teganyo. You'll be part of a community of 400 or 500 people. You live with them, work with them, learn. Well, do you agree?
Do I agree? Maybe you'll still find you've made a bad mistake. But if you think you know a place where I can... all those things you just said. Live and learn, work. A place for me with others. Then...
You do agree?
I not only agree, I promise, personally. I traveled up from Tel Aviv by truck, through the valley of the Sharon and up the valley of the Jezreel, and finally past the shores of Lake Kinneret, which is also the Sea of Galilee. To the south, where the lake flows out into the River Jordan, there stood Degania. It was a farm of 500 acres with fine cow sheds and a barn that looked familiar, like it was somewhere in Eastern Europe. There were many trees and one long avenue of poplars for which Degania was famous. It looked peaceful. A place you'd like to call home, if you could. We stopped in the barnyard, It was empty. There wasn't any welcome. Not that I should have a welcome. But except for a girl passing by with a basket of eggs, no one.
I welcomed you, as much as I could with just one smile. You were too excited to notice, to see me as anything more than a blur, carrying eggs. But long before you even came to know my name was Leah, you'd acquired a very close friend. Shlomo, I watched you that morning, marching into the office of Azriel, our secretary, as though you were going to volunteer for frontline duty. And I knew what was coming. It was going to be a struggle, one determined man against a very large idea.
Mr. Secretary,
I'm Azriel, Shlomo. Won't you sit down?
I just want you to know right away, Azriel. I'm ready to do anything, the worst you have. What's more, without wages. I expect nothing.
That's lucky. No one does.
But whatever you do to get paid,
No one gets a penny.
Then however you work it. I mean, you earn a share in the settlement, in the kibbutz.
I've worked here for 35 years, Shlomo. If I left tomorrow, I'd walk out with the same valise I brought in.
Well, I don't want to talk about leaving. All I want to say is that when you're dealing with me, please understand you don't have any problems. I don't expect any rights or privileges like the rest of you.
Shlomo, if you're anxious to make a martyr of yourself, you should go somewhere else. There are no rights and privileges here. No salaries. We work for the toughest boss we can find. Ourselves. We do what we can. And we take what we need. And if there isn't enough, we all take less.
The same? Everybody? But how long do you think you can go on living that way?
In 40 years, not one of us has found an answer to that question. By now, we've stopped asking.
Is that all you have to tell me, Azriel? No more.
There's the question of room, new clothes.
No, about me. My position here, how I should behave. It can't be as simple as you put it.
Shlomo, I get the feeling you suspect that I'm holding something back from you.
Well, not exactly. But all this, it's a new idea to me.
It shouldn't be, when you consider that it started a long way back. It's an idea that grew up centuries ago right here in this neighborhood. It's the idea that life is valuable, and that no one life, in the sight of God, is more valuable than another. Doesn't that sound familiar?
Shlomo, it all seemed just a little too good to be true. A whole village in which there were no policemen, in which no one had any more importance than he himself. There had to be a catch in it someplace. And it was in the tailor shop that Shlomo found the catch in all this he was looking for.
Come on in, Shlomo. We'll get you set with a wardrobe.
Well, it doesn't look much like a tailor shop.
Actually, it's more like the general store of the kibbutz. It's here where you can pick up a cake of soap when you need it. A razor blade, cigarettes, or whatever.
All you want?
All anyone might want. If some of us get to feel they want more, we can vote on it at one of the weekly meetings.
Seems funny, voting for cigarettes. By now there must be a whole separate political party made up just of smokers.
No, it's not that bad. Now here, Shlomo, over here against this wall, these bins.
Yes?
Each one of us has a bin where we find our laundry every week. And whatever else might be waiting for us. Now, this one's yours. Let's see, 378.
What's the number for?
We all have a number, according to which things are kept straight and in order. It's entered on this card here.
A number?
It's sewed onto your shirts and the rest of your things.
Once again, I'm a number?
What do you mean, once again? It's just to make things easier.
I know it makes things easier. That's why they gave us numbers at Dachau and Bergen-Belsen.
Shlomo, this is the Ganya.
I'm sorry, Azriel. I'll be back. So that's it. Once again, I'm a number. It hasn't ended. It's still there, the echo of a siren creeping nearer, coming through the walls of your barrack into your bunk in the dead of night. A number. 378. To be added or subtracted the way I behave. Or if I'm found wanting, to be erased completely and sent along my way. They try to be kind here and gentle and good on the surface. But beneath it all, there's a whole web of numbers keeping track of a man.
We've been up against this kind of thing before. There are a lot of Shlomos arriving week after week in the kibbutzim of Israel. Each one is in need of healing, in need of a cure that will work deep in the shadows of his heart and mind. But I must admit that my own Mr. Volmus was a peculiar and special case. His every move was being watched, he was sure. Nothing was simply a job. Everything was a challenge, a test to make him prove himself.
Shlomo, what are you doing way down there?
But, Azriel, you told me to dig a hole, didn't you?
For a fence post, not a subway. You're practically out of sight.
He went at choir rehearsals in the very same way.
Piano, please, everyone. Who is that? Shlomo.
Yes, Maestro. Shmuel.
It's nice to find you can sing so loud.
I'm glad you like it. I was trying my best.
Glad. Shlomo, a chorus is more than a single voice, understand? A community more than a single band.
That seemed a very difficult lesson for Shlomo to learn. Someone had to take the man in hand. And frankly, I would have welcomed the job. But Shlomo avoided us all. I was giving up hope of ever getting to know him. When all of a sudden it happened. He came walking down the corridor to the place where I was working. I knew what was going to happen, and there he was. Shalom, Shlomo.
Shalom.
Leah. And then all of a sudden there was nothing left in the world except the way he smiled at me. The way we smiled at each other.
I've come, Leah, only to ask you...
I know why you've come.
You do?
Yes, Shlomo. Here. 3 dozen eggs.
Thank you.
We shook hands. And from then on, we were friends. And from then on, I tried to work a cure in Shlomo with every chance I could get. Even a boat race on Lake Kinneret against a neighboring kibbutz was an excuse.
Leah, we're ahead. The Gainer's out front.
Which only goes to prove that our boys can row better.
Naturally. Isn't that what the race is about?
No, Shlomo, I don't think so. The end here is not to find a champion. It's to get into the hands of those men a new skill for working together. Together, not each one proving himself the best, but together.
There, it's over. Whether you like it or not, Leah, we won.
Fine. But what I'd like to know is whether that makes the winner any more valuable than the loser. Does it?
Well, it's just a question of... Leah, what are you getting at?
You don't have to win, Shlomo. That's the point. You're not competing here. You don't have to prove yourself. There are no winners here, no losers. Why can't you see that and somehow take it easy?
Take it easy, Leah?
The simplest acts of Shlomo's life, to sleep, to eat, to breathe, these had all become words for the headlines of the world. How could he take living again for granted like any other ordinary human being? Though he went to work in the bakery as a second assistant, life remained for him a melodrama. He still went at every chore as if the final judgment of himself depended on it. Until finally the day came of the real test. It happened in the bakery.
147, 8, 49, and that was the last one, Shlomo.
The bread's missing?
There's supposed to be 150.
Maybe you counted wrong.
Oh, no. Oh, there it is, still on the shelf.
Hmm? That's a loaf of dough. They forgot it.
Well, the oven's still hot, Shlomo. Bring it to the kitchen when it's done.
Well, I can't. The bakers have gone. No one's here. Knock 'em. No one except me and a loaf of dough. He can't expect me, his second assistant, to bake bread. But he does. Everybody does. This is it, Shlomo. Everything depends on this. Please let it be a good loaf of bread. A good loaf. It is. It's good. Look, it's wonderful.
Shlomo came charging into the kitchen in a burst of triumph. He carried that loaf of bread as if he'd just scored a goal with it in a football game. But the minute he stepped through the door...
Shlomo, just in time. You saved me a trip to the pantry.
Malcolm, what are you doing with my loaf of bread?
Well, I'm going to slice it.
Slice it?
What else should I do with a loaf of bread? I'll slice it, we'll serve it, we'll eat it.
Shlomo watched the loaf delivered into the dining room. He saw his great triumph. Eaten. Simply eaten. No cheers, no congratulations. It was only bread, after all, not a headline. As no one demanded any proof of Shlomo's right to be in Degania, no one celebrated any victory when he simply did his job. Shlomo.
Yes, Leah?
What's wrong?
Nothing.
Shlomo, I want to make a confession. I've been trying to change your character.
I know.
It's impossible.
I suspected as much.
I've come to the conclusion your whole life must be changed.
Believe me, I'm ready to listen to any suggestion.
You know about Chava and Yaakov. They're getting married tomorrow.
Yes. We're baking cakes.
There's one of the very best ways for anyone to change his life.
Yeah. I hope they'll be happy.
But Shlomo, that's another confession. The second I've made in the last 5 seconds.
You're talking personally about us. Marriage. Lee, I can't believe it.
You can, Shlomo.
Lee, I want you to know, right this second, I've never been so proud.
But what, Shlomo? The way you look, there's a but somewhere.
No, there isn't. Except that for me, a man like me, how can I ever talk to you when I don't belong? Not here in Degania or anywhere.
Shlomo, you're turning me down.
Don't talk like that.
You know they're going to vote on you next week.
But whether they'll make me a permanent member or not, Leah, who knows? Who can dare to hope?
Supposing they do, Shlomo.
I'll bake us a cake then. A cake that you'll be proud of. The day they voted, the entire population of Degania was divided into 2 parts. In the barnyard, there was me, waiting. In the dining hall, there was everybody else, making up their minds. What they were saying about me, I'd never know. All I could do was wait. It's hard to wait, like a rock, like the stone in my hand, while a couple of 100 people decide your life for you. Who were they, after all? By what right could they decide on the whole future of a man? By what right? It was her door that I'd hit. Leah's. Actually, in Degania, this chicken house was Leah. And this fence was Yitzhak. He built it. And Moshe worked on the barn. The barn was Moshe. These were the people of Degania. It was the trees, the buildings, the lawns who were gathered in the dining room this afternoon. It was they who spoke of Shlomo Volmus. And they had the right. They, who else but they, were the kibbutz. Now it was inside of me. The idea that was the root of Degania. But now, too, came the final question. In all of Degania, the contribution of Shlomo Volmus was only this bit of smoke from the bakery. To the whole look of Degania, that bit of smoke didn't add very much. Was it enough? Such a little smoke. Enough to make Shlomo Volmus a permanent part of...
Shlomo!
Yes, Nachum, I'm over here.
Come on!
You want me at the meeting?
Come on! That's why this emergency meeting was called. We all want a flour mill here in the upper Jordan Valley. We've agreed to cooperate to build one.
Shlomo, come away from the door. Sit down.
Oh, yes, Nachum, sure.
You've all heard the terms the agency will give us. We must telephone back to Jerusalem in a half hour. I want the opinion of each settlement.
Tell me, Nachum, how'd the vote go? The vote on me.
Shlomo, quiet. Don't you see this is a crisis?
We'll now hear from Kinneret.
Yes, a crisis. I'm sorry. How about my own crisis?
Shlomo.
Flour mills are important, but a man's life, that's something, too.
And now, please, Ashdod Yaakov.
They talk. It's easy. They belong. It's easy to talk for a place that you can feel is your home. But how about somebody...
All right, Shlomo, your turn.
What?
Go ahead. This is the question of the flour supply, your department.
But me?
Degania, please, can we hear from Degania?
Shlomo, get to your feet.
But how can I? Mr. Chairman, I can't talk in this meeting. I'm no more than, well, a visitor here.
Good Lord, it's all right, Shlomo.
A vote's been taken. You're qualified.
It was unanimous, Shlomo. The vote was unanimous.
Unanimously? But that means everybody.
We can't have any further delay. This is urgent, Shlomo, urgent. What is the opinion of Degania?
I came to my feet. One thought kept ringing. The little I had to offer was accepted, even though I had failed to become a hero. There were no heroes in this room, only people who found in each other the fulfillment of their own real worth. Out of the small bit that each of us offered came the cooperative miracle of a working, building, growing group of people. And now I was part of them, and everyone else was a part of me. I got to my feet. Mr. Chairman, I speak for Degania.
If you would like a copy of today's script, please send your name and address with 10 cents to cover postage and handling to the Jewish Theological Seminary, 3080 Broadway, New York 27, New York. And now we take great pleasure in presenting from Chicago Dr. Samuel M. Blumenfield, Superintendent of the Board of Jewish Education and President of the College of Jewish Studies in Chicago, currently celebrating its 25th anniversary. Dr. Blumenfield.
Shlomo Volmus is both reality and symbol. Those who visited Israel in recent years know full well the tremendous hardships that face this reborn land in redeeming lives shattered by the fury of fascism and Nazism. People of all creeds who love man made in the image of God are indebted to the Jewish communities in Israel for making the thousands of Shlomos forget their nightmares of Belz and Dachau and Cyprus by providing them not only with shelter and opportunities for work, but with a place in their homes and their hearts. Shlomo is also a symbol of Jewish men and women who enjoy the many privileges of this great country, but are not at ease or at home with themselves because they do not know or appreciate the religious ideals and practices of their fathers. People who are unfamiliar with their ancestral traditions and are uninformed about the teaching of their fathers, of their faith, are often unhappy individuals, lacking anchorage and inner security. A generation of Jews bereft of higher aspirations and devoid of the joys and sorrows of Jewish group life are also DPs. They are spiritually displaced persons who are in need of ideals and traditions which bring meaning, stability, and color to human society. They are in want of a sense of belonging to a vital community and a spiritual fellowship. The Jewish community in America has a moral obligation to cope with its spiritually uprooted Shlomos by providing them with religious schools, synagogues, and cultural fellowships through which they could gain a sense of sharing in a great heritage. What a kibbutz in Israel does for the victims of cruelty and persecution, the Jews of America can and must do for the victims of Jewish wasteland and negligence of parents who have forgotten the admonition of Scripture that man does not live by bread alone. The Jews of this country have a moral obligation to help the Shlomos build a new life in Israel. Ours is also the moral duty to make it possible for Jewish religious and educational institutions to build spiritual hearts for our children and ourselves here in blessed America.
Thank you, Dr. Blumenfield. Our Eternal Light drama today, Dream No More, was written by Joseph Crumgold and was based on a motion picture, Dream No More, which Mr. Crumgold wrote and directed, produced by Palestine Films, and currently being shown throughout the country. The music was composed by Morris Momorsky and conducted by Milton Katims. Cantor Robert Siegel sang the liturgical introduction. Free time to present the Eternal Light is made available by the National Broadcasting Company and its affiliated independent stations. This weekly program is presented under the auspices of the Jewish Theological Seminary of America. This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.
Command the children of Israel that they bring unto thee pure oil olive, beaten for the light, to cause the lamps to burn continually in the tabernacle of the congregation. And it shall be a statute forever in your generations.
The Eternal Light. The National Broadcasting Company and its affiliated independent stations make free time available to present The Eternal Light, a program which comes to you under the auspices of the Jewish Theological Seminary of America. Today, in honor of Lincoln's birthday, we present The White Circus Horse by Morton Wishengrad, an adaptation of the story by Paul Marcus.
Funny thing, isn't it? Every day you grow older, and every day you move one day further away from your childhood. But you never really move away. Wherever you go, your childhood goes along right with you. It never leaves you. It's always there, standing behind a curtain. Like now, as if my brother Billy is still 7 years old, and calling to me from the house.
Rose, Martha's to fetch Pa. Supper's ready. Pa, quitting time. Supper's ready.
I remember how Pa would wave to us from the field. To Ma and Billy and me and Grandpa. Grandpa was a veterinarian. He was pretty old, but there was nothing quavery about him.
Billy, mind how you handle that cow?
I can milk her, Grandpa.
I guess you can, Billy, but there's ways of milking.
I got good, strong hands.
Well, that ain't enough, boy. You've got to learn how to be strong without hurting.
Yes, Grandpa.
Farming is mean work, but having Grandpa around made things right. The house was right, and the barn was right, and the brook that ran across our land. When chores were done, Billy and I climbed the back of the old mule. We would just sit on that old mule, jogging up and down the field. And suddenly Billy would speak up.
Rose, this here ain't a mule. Sure looks like a mule. Don't even look like a mule. Got long ears like a mule. Rose, this is a racing horse. Got mighty long ears for a racing horse. If you don't like Windstream, get down off his back. Windstream? Oh, I'm sorry. Don't cry, Billy. I ain't crying. Billy, what's the good of pretending he's a racehorse? He's only a mule. Billy, don't cry.
All he did was dream about horses. I remember the day some people put up a big poster on the barn. A big red circus poster with a white horse on it that was chunky, but not fat or too big. Just strong looking. His nostrils stood out and his eyes were a little bloodshot. And he had the look of a boy let out of school. Billy stood there looking at the picture. He couldn't get enough of it.
That's the horse you've been dreaming about, Billy, isn't it?
That's him, Grandpa.
Well, the circus came to town, but we were too poor to go.
I guess it's better to ride an old mule you have than a white circus horse you don't have. Come on, Billy, I'll catch the mule for you.
So we went out to the pasture to catch the mule. But what do you think? When we got to the pasture, the mule wasn't there. The mule was gone, and we ran to Pa.
Mule ain't stolen. Hold this post, Billy. Make yourself useful.
Yes, Pa, but if he ain't stolen,
Keep
then...
your hands down. Way down, Billy.
Then what happened to him?
Hold your head back. The sledgehammer's a deal harder than your head.
Yes, Pa, but where's...
Grandpa took him.
Where?
Your grandpa took him to go into town. The circus called him. They got a sick horse.
Was it a white horse?
Well, they didn't say. Just a sick horse. Hold the post, Billy.
Yes, Pa.
After supper, Billy and I went to the gate. We lay down there in the grass until the sky was streaked with red. I don't know how long we waited for Grandpa to come home. When it was dark, Pa came out with some blankets.
Your ma says to wrap yourself up. It's chilly with the dew on the grass.
He didn't scold us or anything. He sat there and waited for us. And then we saw Grandpa. Grandpa was riding the old mule. And behind Grandpa was a white horse. We waited at the gate, the three of us. Nobody said a word. But when Grandpa turned down the lane toward the barn, we walked alongside, looking at the white horse. He didn't look much like Billy's white circus horse. His head hung down. When Pa lit the lantern, we could see that his coat was matted with dirt and that his eyes looked dull and stupid.
No, the circus man gave it to him. I told him the horse would most likely die, but that maybe I could cure him in 6 months.
And why'd he give him to you?
Well, the man said that he couldn't feed and care for a sick horse for a half a year. Said it didn't pay. He didn't have the heart to shoot him, so he gave him to me.
Grandpa, is he going to die?
I'll doctor him the best I know how. He'll go to sleep. I'll stay up with him.
Is he going to die?
I don't know, Billy. I'm a horse doctor. You better ask the Lord.
When the horse was led into the second stall, he folded his legs slowly and lay down with a sigh on the fresh straw. Then he sighed again. Grandpa shook his head. It wasn't much of a sign, but I saw it. We went into the house, and we all sat around and watched Grandpa while he ate his supper.
I'm too tired to talk. Go to bed, children.
After Billy and I got into our bed, we heard Grandpa go back into the barn.
Rose, Grandpa's going to stay with them all night. It's bad. If Grandpa's going to do that, it's bad.
Billy said a prayer. I said one, too. As soon as we woke, we ran to the barn. Grandpa was sitting there in the straw with the horse's head in his lap. He had stayed there all night. The white horse was sucking his breath in with big gulps.
Well, if he isn't any better, it's something that he isn't any worse. Billy, I'm going to get some sleep. You stay with him.
Yes, Grandpa.
You and Rose rub his legs. If you feel his legs get warm, I just bandage them. Bandage them from his hoof right down to his hocks. If his legs don't get warm, I rub in this dry mustard.
Billy and me can do that, Grandpa.
I'm too tired to stay up any longer, and your pa has to work in the field. It's a big responsibility for you both.
Can we give him anything?
Well, try to get some water into him. See that it's cool and that it's fresh. Give him all that he'll take, but don't force him. If anything happens, why, you wake me right away.
What can happen, Grandpa?
He can die. You'd better know that.
Billy and I held our breath. But this wasn't just a white horse that was sick. This was everything fine in the world that Billy had dreamt up for himself. We rubbed the cold legs of the white horse. He was so cold, but his body was bathed with sweat. His flanks heaved, and his breathing became heavier. It was hard not to run and wake up Grandpa. Grandpa came out in 2 hours, but it seemed a long time. He studied the white horse for a minute. Then he put his ear to the horse's heart and listened.
Is he worse, Grandpa?
Grandpa didn't answer. He put his hand near the horse's nostrils and felt the hot breath.
Fever. Billy?
Yes, Grandpa.
You find your pa and tell him I need him, quick. Rose, you tell your ma to boil water. Tell her to use every kettle and pot in the kitchen.
I'll run.
Wait.
Yes, Grandpa.
Bring some blankets. Not cotton, woolen blankets. Bring as many as you can carry. On top of everything else, it's pneumonia now. Don't tell Billy.
Grandpa and Pa and Ma and Billy and me, we didn't leave the stable that day.
Don't shut those doors. He's got to have air.
Pa put a big wooden tub on the center of the floor. and he and Grandpa poured buckets of hot water into it.
Yes, this is what we'll do. We'll soak a blanket in the water, and then your pa and I'll wring it out, and we'll wrap it around his chest.
They did it that whole day and part of the night, soaking the woolen blankets in the hot water, wring it out, wrapping it around the horse's chest.
Yep. Don't let it sag. Fit it snugly. I don't want any air between the blanket and his skin. That's good. Now, Rose and Billy, you cover him with a dry blanket, quick.
We changed the hot blankets every half hour. Then towards noon, Pa rubbed him down with alcohol while Grandpa put some hay in a bucket and poured boiling water over it.
Billy, I expect you didn't think that we could make tea from hay.
He's going to get well, isn't he, Grandpa?
Why, sure. We let the tea cool, and then we strain it and give it to him. If he'll take it, it may give him an appetite.
He's going to get well, isn't he, Grandpa?
I just said so, didn't I?
I know,
but... don't mope, boy. Don't mope. Either work for him or pray for him, but don't mope.
Near midnight, Grandpa broke some fresh eggs into a quart of milk. He stirred it until it all became a golden yellow color.
Some sick horses will drink milk. We'll see.
The sick horse raised his big white head. Grandpa held the milk up to him.
Of course he's drinking it. Of course he's drinking it. Of course.
Billy began to cry. Grandpa fed that horse as though he was a baby. Milk the first 2 days, then bread and corn on the cob, and carrots and apples.
Billy, you hold his head up. Don't be afraid. I'm going to drench him.
Maybe the white horse knew that the medicine would make him well. He didn't fuss. He just let Billy hold his head up, and he took the medicine without complaint.
See that the blankets cover him, but don't close any doors or windows. He's got to have air.
I'll stay with him, Grandpa. I'll make sure.
Billy, he's just a white horse, nothing but skin and bone.
Yes, Grandpa.
It's good to love him, but he ain't your pa or your ma or your sister Rose. He's just a white horse.
Yes, Grandpa.
Now you go ahead and get some sleep.
Let me sleep here, Grandpa. Please, let me sleep here. Please.
Don't love him that much, Billy. It ain't good.
Please, Grandpa. Can I?
All right, Billy. You can sleep here.
Grandpa was very careful, and it was nearly 2 weeks before Grandpa said,
"Well, I guess that white horse is going to live."
After a month, Grandpa led the white horse out to pasture. But he was a pretty sad-looking creature. He trembled a little in the warm sunshine, and he seemed too tired to stand. But Grandpa just smiled.
He'll do. Just wait and see.
By now, our sugar beets had to be harvested, and there was no time to lose from the fields. But Billy would sneak off to the pasture a couple of times a day.
He's nibbling a little grass.
Or else Billy would say,
"He's drinking from the brook."
As the weeks went by, his ribs filled out, and his coat became glossy. The white horse held his head higher and higher, and his eyes began to brighten. One day, Billy and I and Grandpa just went out to watch him. We lay down in the grass and watched him eat. And while we were watching, a horsefly came up and bit him on the horn.
He's running.
He went galloping across the pasture, his tail streaming out, and his eyes had the look of a boy let out of school.
Grandpa, it's him. I always knew it. It's him. The white circus horse that's on the poster. You knew
Billy, what are you doing?
My brother Billy climbed up and sat on the white circus horse. And it wasn't a horse. It was Billy's prayer. A prayer of hope and faith and justice.
Rose,
Yes, Grandpa?
the Lord has made a covenant for us with the beasts of the field.
Everybody smiled at supper. There was a good feeling at the table.
Children, tomorrow we'll hitch him up to the buggy and drive to town.
Can I come too?
Well, no, Billy, not tomorrow. Your pa and I will take him. We don't know how he'll drive, but if he behaves well, we'll all go day after tomorrow.
If Grandpa weren't the best and the wisest horse doctor in the whole South, Billy might have cried. But Grandpa knew best. I've lived half my life and more, but I'll never see a sight more beautiful than the white circus horse that next day, going down the lane and disappearing down the road. We stood there and we watched him until there was only dust to see. And the minute he was gone, we almost stopped believing in him, because he was too wonderful a thing to happen to poor people like us. Billy was the first to see them coming back. But when they drove up, all the talk and laughing stopped. Father climbed down, and then Grandpa climbed down, and we knew something was wrong. They unhitched him and took him to the stable, and we watched them wash for supper and sit down and not say a word for a long time.
He drove fine, Billy.
Grandpa?
He's a very gentle horse.
Except when he has to pass. When he comes up behind another horse, he's got to pass. He can't be held.
He didn't run away, did he, Pa?
No, he ain't a runaway. It's just, well, I guess the circus trained him to pass any horse he comes near. And he's bound to do it.
Whom did he pass, Grandpa?
Well, he passed Dr. Wilkinson and Judge Glass. They smiled and waved a hand to us. We passed that Joe Kirby, too.
He didn't smile. He didn't wave either.
I guess Billy understood then. Grandpa looked very tired that night. We were all very quiet and frightened. Billy said his prayers extra long, and he had said Amen twice at the end. Well, after that, Pa and Grandpa didn't know what to do. They didn't want to drive that beautiful white circus horse to town again because it was too dangerous for us all. But Pa hated not to drive him.
I just don't know what to do.
The white horse ate grass in the meadow and drank water from the brook and just galloped back and forth.
Rose, look at the way his white tail streams out.
It was on Saturday that they tried it again. They drove him to town. When they got home, the white horse was dirty and covered with sweat. Grandpa and Billy rubbed him down and curried him, and then they left him in his stall. Pa didn't say much, but it was enough.
I couldn't hold him back. We passed that Kirby man again. We passed that Kirby man and two other white folks I didn't know.
Rose, are you asleep? No. No, I'm not sleeping. What's going to happen? I don't know. Nothing. Nothing at all. Go to sleep, Billy.
We'll give him some carrots in the morning. He likes carrots.
Yes, Billy, we'll give him some carrots in the morning. Now go to sleep.
In the morning, we ran out to the pasture, but we couldn't find our white circus horse. We couldn't see him anywhere, though we saw the old mule. We ran all over. At last we found him by the brook. He was lying on his side close to the water.
Billy, turn your head. Don't look.
But he had already seen. Our white circus horse was dead. He had been shot through the head. Billy ran to the house, and I walked by myself to the barn. I climbed up to the hayloft over the old barn where it was quiet and sweet-smelling like a church. And I lay down in the hay, and I looked up at the rafters where a bird was building a nest. I saw the mother bird fly in and out with a few wisps of straw for the nest she was building. Then I heard Billy climb the ladder. He climbed very slowly, like he was as old as Grandpa. He came and he lay down in the hay. It was very quiet in the barn, and it was just as still outside.
Billy, I looked through the window. They were sitting in the kitchen, Grandpa and Pa. They were crying.
If you would like a copy of today's script, please send your name and address with 10 cents to cover cost of postage and handling to the Jewish Theological Seminary, 3080 Broadway, New York 27, New York. And now we take great pleasure in presenting Judge Robert P. Patterson, former Secretary of War and President of Freedom House. Judge Patterson.
Ladies and gentlemen, the moving drama we have heard conveys a special meaning in this month of the year, the month when we celebrate the birthdays of two great Americans. Above all other Americans, George Washington and Abraham Lincoln personify our heritage of individual dignity and freedom, the birthright of Americans of every color and creed. This heritage, always rare and precious, is doubly so today, as in the time of Washington, and again in Lincoln's day. This country stands in the vanguard of man's struggle for liberty. We act in this leadership with humility. We know what crucial decisions must be made. We realize how much depends upon our wisdom. On the one hand lies peace and a more abundant life than the people of this earth have ever known. On the other looms the ever-growing threat of total destruction. It is indeed a momentous period in our nation's history. Never before have we faced a greater obligation to extend freedom, to advance the brotherhood of man, both at home and abroad. On the world scene, one such opportunity is contained in the United Nations Genocide Convention. That convention signalizes a new era in international justice. It at last gives us the chance to outlaw the most dreadful of all crimes, the mass destruction of human beings. The Genocide Convention is now before the Senate for ratification. Americans of all walks of life are pressing for prompt action so that our country may set an example for other great powers to follow. Here at home, the same urge to reassert the worth of every man is reflected in nationwide movements to strengthen civil rights, to wipe out racial and religious discrimination, to ensure equality of opportunity for all Americans. On all sides, in employment, in housing, in education, in the exercise of citizenship, there are new avenues for positive action that invite your energies and mine. All of us, as parents, as employers and workers, as members of our communities, and as voters, all must join forces in this great cause. And there is no doubt that together, by common effort, we shall succeed.
Thank you, Judge Patterson. Our Eternal Light drama today, The White Circus Horse, was adapted for radio by Morton Wishengrad from the story by Paul Marcus and was presented in honor of Lincoln's birthday. The music was composed by Morris Momorsky and conducted by Milton Catons. Cantor Robert Siegel sang the liturgical introduction. The narrator was Betty Berghardt. The production was under the direction of Frank Papp. Free time to present The Eternal Light is made available by the National Broadcasting Company and its affiliated independent stations. This weekly program is presented under the auspices of the Jewish Theological Seminary of America. This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Command the children of Israel that they bring unto thee pure oil olive, beaten for the light, to cause the lamps to burn continually in the tabernacle of the congregation. And it shall be a statute forever in your generation.
The Eternal Light. The National Broadcasting Company and its affiliated independent stations make free time available to present The Eternal Light, a program which comes to you under the auspices of the Jewish Theological Seminary of America. Today, in celebration of the festival of Purim, we present A Song for Queen Esther by Morton Wishengrad.
Oh, Purim's coming, children, the feast of fun and joy. So let us join in singing, every girl and boy. Sing Esther the queen, sing Esther the fair, sing loudly her virtue, her charm. How Mordecai toiled, how Haman was foiled, how Israel was shielded from harm. Oh, Purim's coming, children, the festival of fun. So lift your voices gladly, come join in everyone.
Now it came to pass in the days when Ahasuerus was king, that he ordered his 7 chamberlains to prepare a great feast in the city of Shushan.
Prepare couches of gold and silver.
Prepare couches of gold and silver.
Dust off our 1,600,000 golden goblets.
Royalty is coming.
Invite all my relatives.
Double the amount of food.
Yes, of course, all kinds of food. Ransack my 127 provinces for ducks, hens, capons, pheasants, geese, quail, and pigeons.
Poultry, beware!
Oh, but it's going to be a party no one will soon forget. Capons, ducklings, cook them well. Geese and quail and pheasants, cook them in a giant pot, stirred by 80 peasants. Bullocks, chickens, fricassee, boiled and broiled and roasted. Cook them in a lovely sauce till they're golden toasted. Quick, big, quick, my chamberlain, pies, pastry, brandy, and give each child throughout the land paper bags of candy.
When King Ahasuerus had finished his little song, he beamed at his 7 chamberlains and gave them a large wink. And with a look full of meaning, he said,
Tell Queen Vashti I shall want her to put on her royal crown and come before my guests to show her beauty.
But Vashti refused to show herself in front of the king's guests, and King Ahasuerus became furious.
I am the king. I am the king. Ahasuerus. Chamberlain, how dare she refuse my command?
Inexcusable behavior, Your Majesty.
The presumption of the woman, the insolence of the woman, the audacity of the woman.
You shouldn't stand for it, Your Majesty.
I won't stand for it.
You must defend the honor of the royal name.
I will. Why, if the queen refuses to obey the king...
Ordinary women will step all over their husbands.
Exactly.
Majesty.
Yes, Chamberlain.
Much as I regret to say so.
Go on.
I must counsel that the time has come to choose a new queen.
Not a bad thought. Excellently counseled. Chamberlain, whom have you in mind?
Someone beautiful.
Good.
And someone dutiful.
Better.
Someone wise and modest and charming.
What's her name?
I don't know. But we'll find her, Your Majesty.
Impossible. She doesn't exist.
No, but she does exist. She must exist. And since she exists, we will find her.
How?
We'll hold a contest. A contest for the maiden who will be queen to King Ahasuerus.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. A beautiful idea. A most ingenious idea. An idea of sagacity and imagination and virtue.
Thank you, sire. I shall order your soldiers to go throughout the land. They will be authorized to gather together every eligible maiden in all the 127 provinces of King Ahasuerus, ruler over Persia and Media, sovereign of all lands and peoples, from India even unto Ethiopia, mighty emperor over...
Enough, Chamberlain. The main thing is that the plan is good. Excellent. Hurry. Let's have the royal contest.
In Shushan town there lived a girl, Hadassah was her name, till it was changed by Mordecai, and Esther it became. Till it was changed by Mordecai, and Esther it became. Now Esther was an orphan girl, of virtue, grace, and beauty, who lived with Uncle Mordecai. To protect her was his duty, who lived with Uncle Mordecai. To protect her was his duty.
Esther, my dear, it's impossible to hide here any longer.
But the soldiers are in the street.
Then you must go to meet them. They must not find you hiding.
Uncle Mordecai, what will become of me?
We have the promise of the king that no one will be molested.
I'm afraid.
Have faith, my dear. He who led Abraham forth out of Ur of the Chaldees will also watch over you.
I want to stay here with you. I want to be with my people. I have no wish to be in any contest. I have no wish to be queen.
It is out of our hands now. Esther, be brave.
In the name of Ahasuerus, ruler over Persia, I demand entrance into this house.
Uncle Mordecai, don't leave me.
In the name of the 42 ministers and the 7 chamberlains of King Ahasuerus, let me in.
Promise me, Uncle Mordecai, that you will stay close by.
I promise. Esther, you must promise me something.
What, Uncle?
Whatever happens, do not reveal that you are an Israelite. Because should the king be displeased with you for any reason, then your people would suffer harm.
I promise.
Are you the maiden Esther?
I am.
Hold your face to the light. In the name of the 63rd Regiment of His Majesty's Royal Legions, I declare you most eligible. Please come at once to the Royal Palace.
Mordecai wept to see Esther go. He followed behind as he had promised. And when the palace gates closed after her, he sighed very deeply.
Dear
Esther, sweet Esther, they've taken her to test her, to see if her beauty is pleasing to the king. To him may she be beautiful, and to her people dutiful. Her heart will all be very full if she's chosen queen.
It was not an easy contest. There were thousands and thousands of eligible maidens, and the king and his first chamberlain would not leave the judging to other eyes. Day followed day, week followed week, but neither the king nor his loyal chamberlain was satisfied.
This one isn't beautiful enough.
And this one isn't modest enough.
This one simpers.
This one squints.
This one giggles.
This one gushes.
This one is silly.
This one is stupid.
And this one has no manners.
This one has too many airs.
And this one is too short.
This one is too tall.
And this one is...
I think so too, Your Majesty.
My dear young lady.
Do you address me, sire?
I do. What is your name?
Esther, Your Majesty.
Chamberlain. A most agreeable voice.
And a most agreeable manner.
Queen Esther. I like that.
The two words do go together, don't they?
They do, don't they? I like the sound of it very much indeed. Chamberlain, I have made up my mind. The contest is over. Esther will be my new queen.
Queen Esther, there is no one to better, for her grace and virtue are pleasing to the king. My dear, I find you beautiful, I hope you will be dutiful. Oh Lord, you have been bountiful, and Esther is my queen.
And this is the manner by which Esther the orphan became queen to King Ahasuerus in the month of Tebet in the 7th year of the king's reign. And the king loved her exceedingly.
My dear, what is your opinion on the color scheme of the furniture? Do you prefer blue and silver with the onyx chairs, or do you think gold would be more delicate? Speak up, my dear. I value your opinion.
The king had never been more happy in his life. And Mordecai, to whom all these tidings were brought, rejoiced greatly. True to his word, Mordecai sat from noon to night before the gates of the palace in order to see that no harm should come to Esther. And this is how it was, that one day, while Mordecai sat reading from a large book, he chanced to overhear two of the king's ministers speaking in a strange language.
The Inke is an Apse.
Ekje.
Is an Ulfe.
And an Ope Day.
Terish Elpe isnle ute ime, aime aete ave ingbe upe, aime aete ave ingbe ushpe arounde, iriate. Auhe abade uye itke.
Ekje.
Now, Mordecai knew all the 70 languages of man, and so to his learned ears the words made sense, as follows.
Terish, my good friend, as one minister to another, let me say candidly that our good King Ahasuerus
is, what?
He's a fool.
I grant you that.
He doesn't deserve to be king.
I grant that also, but who does?
Me.
You?
Why not?
The idea has possibilities. What have you in mind?
A dagger.
Well, that would do it nicely, but it's a risky business.
After we take care of Ahasuerus, you proclaim me king, and I proclaim you the king's treasurer.
As I said, the idea has possibilities. I might go so far as to say that it has large possibilities. Now, quite by accident, I own a dagger. A dagger of daggers. This dagger, my dear colleague, is so sharp.
I ran immediately to the chamberlain and revealed the plot against the king. Oh, bless you, Mordecai. Bless you 1,000 times. For the wicked ministers have already been seized, and no harm will befall the king.
Esther, my dear.
Yes, Uncle.
I believe you've grown fond of Ahasuerus.
I believe I have. He's a little foolish sometimes, but for a king, he's quite lovable.
I'm doubly glad now that I was able to save his life. Have no fear. Rest easy in your mind, dear Esther. From now on, there isn't anything can happen.
But Mordecai was wrong. In place of the traitorous ministers, King Ahasuerus made a single appointment.
Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite.
Your Majesty.
Know all men that from this day I appoint Haman to be my first minister.
I am Haman, first minister of the realm. Bow down and prostrate yourselves before me.
Now Haman was an evil man, the foulest villain in the land. This Haman, foul Haman, the blackest soul of all. But dear children, calm your fears, sigh no sighs and shed no tears, for Haman, foul Haman, did infamously fall. On with our story, Haman is approaching the place where Mordecai sits at the palace door. Bow down, shouts Haman, bow you down before me, for my name is Haman, and I alone am Lord.
I said bow down, I am your Lord.
You are wrong, son. There is only one Lord to whom I may bow down. The Lord our God.
Bow down to me and kiss my foot.
I cannot, I shall.
I am the minister of the king.
And I am a servant of God.
You've said enough. Your name?
What do you wish with me?
Your name?
People call me Mordecai. Mordecai the Israelite.
Mordecai the Israelite. That's all I want to know. Soldiers, sound your trumpets. Haman returns to the palace.
Haman, you come at a most inopportune time. My chamberlain is showing me my garments for the new season.
It can wait, Your Majesty.
Somehow everything that pleases me must wait, while everything that vexes is pushed before my nose. What is it, Haman?
Sire, I've been examining the royal treasury.
Money. Don't talk to me about money. Talk to my chamberlain. He handles such things.
Majesty, I must speak to you. Your treasury is very low.
Too many parties, eh, Chamberlain?
I'm afraid so, my king.
Well, we'll have to do something. Take away those new garments. I can't afford them.
No, but, sire, blue and white are such favorable colors for you.
You heard, Haman. We must economize. Very well, Chamberlain. See that our next banquet lasts only 3 weeks.
Your Majesty.
Speak, Haman. What is it?
No need to economize. There are Israelites in your kingdom.
Yes?
We shall tax them.
But
we shall tax with a special tax, a tax of 100% upon everything they possess.
That means you will confiscate
everything they possess. And I assure you they won't complain.
Really, Haman?
I'll take the small precaution of seeing that they are all dead.
Dear me. Rather drastic, don't you think?
A necessary step, King Ahasuerus. These people plot against your life. They cause unrest in your kingdom. They foment rebellion. They have contempt for your gods and your idols. Your Majesty, we cannot abide difference in our kingdom. Those who are not absolutely like everyone else must be eliminated.
Chamberlain, what do you think?
I do not like it, sire.
Haman, surely there must be some other way.
No other way. Your Majesty has given me his confidence. Believe me now, I act for the good of the kingdom. Every Israelite must be destroyed.
Esther, you are exaggerating the seriousness of the news.
I wish it were so, Mordecai. But it was told me by my ladies in waiting.
It is only court gossip, a wild rumor. Such things cannot happen.
Uncle, it was the king's loyal chamberlain who gave the news to my ladies.
Haman. Haman is the one.
Yes. Oh, Ahasuerus, my husband, my king.
How can you allow yourself to be so deceived?
Esther, go to him.
To Oswald?
Yes, you must.
But no one may go to the king unless the king calls. It is the law of the palace, Mordecai. Whosoever goes before the king without having first been summoned by the king, that person may be summarily put to death. Even the queen.
You must chance it, then.
I may be killed.
If you do not go, your people will be killed.
I have no alternative, then. I shall fast. Mordecai, go among the Israelites and tell them that this day shall be the fast of Esther. Beseech them to pray for me, even as I pray for them.
Wer mir seinen will, oder jeden seinen will, was mir tun will, aber tun
Esther fasted all that day, and in the small houses of Shushan, thousands prayed for her. Finally, while the entire court held its breath, Queen Esther boldly approached the throne of the king.
Who is it that comes before the king without being summoned?
It is Esther, your queen.
Oh, well, that's something else again. Madame, your life is much too valuable to risk this way.
I had to come, sire.
But suppose I had a touch of indigestion and were in a bad mood. My dear Esther, dreadful things could happen, unthinkable things. Now, why have you come, my dear?
I have prepared a banquet, Your Majesty.
Oh, capital. Am I invited?
It would be no banquet without you.
What a pretty speech. When is it to be?
Tomorrow evening.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Who else is coming? Anyone I know?
If my Lord Haman would honor us with his presence, I would be most happy.
Haman, do you hear that? Lucky for you, I'm not a jealous man. Invited by the Queen herself.
I am deeply flattered, my gracious Queen.
Then you will come, Haman.
Nothing could prevent it, Queen Esther. I am ecstatic with joy.
Haman gloated because the queen had honored him. But when he saw Mordecai outside the palace gate, his exultation became an evil thing.
What good are the favors of the queen to me so long as this man whom I hate remains alive? I shall take counsel with Zeresh, my wife.
And Zeresh, who was as evil as Haman, gave him her wicked counsel.
You're absolutely right, Zeresh. I shall build a gallows 50 cubits high, and Mordecai will hang from it.
Chamberlain, tell them to stop that infernal racket. It's got to so a man can't sleep. Chamberlain, make them stop.
Trumpeters, have done, have done! Thank you very much. Now go back to sleep, Your Majesty.
Now what in the name of Persia is that?
Haman has given an order to build a gallows 50 cubits high.
Well, tell them to wait till morning. Why does everything happen to me?
Stop your hammering. Go home, all of you. Come back in the morning. Much better, Your Majesty.
My head. I'm afraid the night is ruined. I simply won't be able to sleep after this.
Drink a little wine.
No.
Perhaps a little walk.
No. Chamberlain, read to me.
Very well, sire. I shall read from our daily chronicles. I read, date of 6 months past. The plot to assassinate the king, foiled by the Israelite Mordecai. On the morning of the 6th day, the Israelite Mordecai overheard...
Wait, Chamberlain, wait. It comes back to me clearly, yes. This man Mordecai, he saved my life.
He did, sire.
How did we reward him?
Let me see. There is no mention of any reward.
Ridiculous. Read further.
Oh, I'm afraid, sire, we completely forgot a reward for this loyal subject.
No wonder I couldn't sleep. Terrible, terrible, terrible. How could we be so ungrateful? I must remember to speak to Haman about it at Queen Esther's banquet. No, I shan't wait. I'll do something about it now. Chamberlain, strike the gong. Haman,
You're better.
there's something I meant to speak to you about, but this is Esther's banquet, and so no business. My dear Esther, will you sing for us?
I'm not in the mood, Your Majesty.
Oh, nonsense. Sing something pretty, something gay. You know what I like.
Your Majesty, truly, I have no disposition to sing at this moment.
I'm a very disappointed king. My chamberlain is disappointed.
I am, dear Queen.
Very well. I sing, my king, I sing, but my heart is cold and sad. Yet since you command, I shall pretend my heart is gay and glad. La 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 la.
Esther. Oh, Esther, my dear, I thought this was to be a happy occasion.
Forgive me, but I'm filled with sadness.
But why? For what reason, my dear?
Because orders have been issued to put the people of Israel to death.
Those were my orders, Queen Esther. Why trouble your head over affairs of state?
Haman is right.
Haman is the most wicked man who has ever lived.
Why, dear Queen, I'm at a loss.
The Israelites never harmed you. They ask only for peace. Why won't you let them live?
Esther, my dear, there are tears in your eyes.
Are there, Ahasuerus?
Oh, my dear, what are the Israelites to you?
Your Majesty, they are my people. I'm an Israelite.
You, Esther?
An Israelite orphan who was reared by her good uncle Mordecai.
Well, we shall have this order against your people. Did I hear you say Mordecai?
You did, sire.
Majesty, this Mordecai...
He is our loyal subject.
Oh, no, King Ahasuerus, he's a traitor.
How can you speak so of a good man?
I can prove he is a traitor.
Hold your tongue, Haman. You accursed liar. Mordecai is the man who saved the king's life. I would have him honored, not slandered.
My king, Haman, would have Mordecai hanged.
Never.
Haman has built a gallows 50 cubits high to hang Mordecai.
Not true. If Haman has built a gallows, Haman will hang from it. Good Mordecai, my faithful subject, put on purple robes and garments of silk, and let this time be a time of rejoicing for you and for all the people of Esther the Queen.
Oh, Purim's here, dear children, a festival of thanks. So sing and dance with gladness and play your merry pranks.
Sing, Mordecai, good, sing, evil withstood, sing, wicked, Haman's disgrace.
Sing Esther the Queen, sing Esther supreme, sing proudly her beauty, her grace.
Oh, Purim's here, dear children, clap every hand in glee, and always love this story, which ends so happily.
If you would like a copy of today's script, please send your name and address with 10 cents to cover postage and handling to the Jewish Theological Seminary, 3080 Broadway, New York 27, New York. Our Eternal Light drama today, A Song for Queen Esther by Morton Wishengrad, was presented in celebration of the Festival of Purim. The orchestral music was composed by Morris Momorsky and conducted by Milton Catens. Tom Glazer was the singing narrator.
Cantor Robert Siegel sang the liturgical introduction. The production was under the direction of Frank Papp. Free Time to Present the Eternal Light is made available by the National Broadcasting Company and its affiliated independent stations. This weekly program is presented under the auspices of the Jewish Theological Seminary of America. This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Command the children of Israel that they bring unto thee pure oil olive, beaten for the light, to cause the lamp to burn continually in the tabernacle of the congregation. And it shall be a statute forever in your generations.
The Eternal Light. The National Broadcasting Company and its affiliated independent stations make free time available to present The Eternal Light, a program which comes to you under the auspices of the Jewish Theological Seminary of America. Today's program, based on a true story, is The Promising Young Man by Harry Gersh and is dedicated to the current Red Cross campaign.
There are so many promising young men. You know some, and I know some. The boy in the next room, the one next door or down the street. There are so many ways in which the promise is fulfilled. In a laboratory, in a book, in the soft happiness that fills a home. This is the story of Eddie Cohen and of the fulfillment of the promise that was in him.
Tear the door off, Eddie, and the mortgage isn't paid off yet.
Hiya, Mom.
Your sweater's torn. Your nose is scratched. And what's the matter with your foot?
Oh, just a little football. Good game, too. We won.
Everyday football. When do you study?
No homework today.
Yesterday was no homework, too. Very nice teachers you have.
Oh, the teachers give us work, Mom. Whoever heard of a teacher that didn't?
So?
Well, it's easy. I do it in school.
When they call it homework, they mean homework, not schoolwork. From football, you won't become a doctor. Work a little, Eddie. From football doesn't come diplomas.
What, are you talking to yourself, Eddie?
No, I'm working, Pop. I'm working.
You don't look like you're dancing. What are you working on?
Oh, a little experiment. The mathematical limit of the power in one hydrogen atom.
It's for school?
You being funny, Pop? School. They're still on the kindergarten stuff. What's for the science club?
I met Mr. Honegger today. We were talking.
Well, he's a good teacher, Mr. Honegger, but he's not up on the top stuff. He doesn't follow the latest nuclear developments.
Now you know more than the teacher?
Well, no, but
He says you're always doing next year's work and asking questions out of college.
Big-time stuff, science. You got to keep on the ball these days.
There's time, Eddie. There's time. You're only 15. Next year you graduate. It's not good to go to college too young.
I'm in a hurry, Pop. A doctor can't know too much. Not if he's going to be a good doctor.
Sure, when you were 5 years old, you were reading books. When you were 7, you were doing algebra.
Oh, I thought you liked that.
Well, sure I liked it. But Mr. Honegger thinks you should spend less time with books and more time playing ball, having fun.
Say that again, Pop.
Say what again? Play more ball, get some exercise. It's healthier.
Uh-huh, it's a very fine idea. Mom, hey, Mom.
What, Eddie? What do you want?
Mrs. Cohen, allow me to present your husband, Mr. Cohen. He has some interesting things to tell you. I'm going to wash. Boy, I'm hungry. Hey, what's for supper?
The promise shows early in the promising young man, sometimes in little hidden flickers, sometimes in the steady shine of a brilliant mind. But no promise carries its own guarantee.
Blood. Mom!
You'll be late for school. What is it?
It's my gums. They're bleeding again.
You scratched yourself with a toothbrush.
Boy, I must be getting old. Hey, don't your gums bleed when you get old?
So I'm an old lady already?
Oh, you know what I mean.
If you suffer from old age in the gums, you better go see a dentist.
Open a little wider, Eddie. Here you're doing all right at school. Here you'll win all the science prizes.
Oh, I...
Yeah. Well, if you're going to be a doctor, science is the thing. Don't find the cure for cancer in Virgil. There, you can relax now.
Oh, well, did you see anything?
Oh, a little tenderness. Nothing to worry about.
Think it'll go away?
Well, it ought to. Rinse with salt water. If it doesn't stop, come in and see me next week.
Promise shows early in the promising young man. Eddie was going to be a doctor. He'd planned it a long time. A good doctor. So at 15, he'd read more books than he could understand. But some he did understand. Eddie studied a page in a book and made a diagnosis.
Mom, I think I know what's wrong with me.
Always ideas before breakfast. What's wrong?
Well, look on my arm.
What should I look at?
Here, these black and blue marks.
Oh, I see. Football. Oh, it's a wonder you don't get worse from football.
No, it's not football. Now, it's either anemia
Anemic? You aren't, Eddie. As much liver as you eat, even if it is chopped, you aren't anemic.
But, Mom, I'll show you in the book. Now, it's
and
either
the
anemia...
orange juice, and the fresh vegetables, and the steak. In my house are no anemics. Some doctor.
Well, if it isn't anemia...
Yes. So what is it, doctor?
Leukemia.
Leukemia, a disease of the blood characterized by an excessive production of white corpuscles, sometimes called cancer of the blood.
Well, what do you think, Doc?
You'll be a good diagnostician, Eddie. You hit it that time.
You mean it's leukemia?
Yes, Eddie.
Leukemia?
You're smart enough to diagnose it. You're smart enough to know the dangers.
Yeah, Doc.
But remember, the books you read were written several years ago. Medicine moves fast these days. With the new drugs, we can do wonders. You'll have to go to the hospital.
Okay, Doc. Leukemia. When you say it, it's different.
There are no promising young men in the hospitals. There are the sick, and getting better, and the getting worse. There are patients hiding fear and pain, cheering up the visitors. There are visitors hiding fear and love because if they showed their love, they would cry.
Hi, Mom.
Hello, son.
Hello, Eddie.
Oh, gee, what you got in those packages?
Oh, some things to eat and some books. How do you feel, Sonny?
Oh, I'm fine. You seen any of the fellows, Pop?
Yes, I saw them all. They come around and ask how you are. Joe, Frank, Billy, Mr. Honegger.
I feel good enough to go home. This is some vacation.
Oh, Eddie, some vacation.
Ma.
Excuse me, Eddie.
I get all I want to eat, sleep when I feel like, listen to the radio, and read. What more can a guy ask?
Do they treat you nice, the doctors and the nurses?
Yeah. There's a swell intern on this floor. We talk about medicine. He's interested in my case.
And the nurses, Eddie?
Mom, you better watch him.
Was Dr. Gold here today?
Yeah, this morning. But he doesn't say anything. I'm no kid.
Oh, of course not, Eddie.
Well, then why doesn't he say something? What does he tell you, Pop?
Well, he says you're doing fine, Eddie. He's bringing in Dr. Marshall to see you.
Marshall? You mean the Dr. Marshall? Well, he only comes in when...
Eddie, son.
Oh, Pop. Why did it have to happen to me? I'm only 16. What did I do?
Oh, Eddie, baby. Eddie, baby.
Hello. You saw Eddie this afternoon? How was he?
Oh, he looks fine. You think the doctors know?
There are things they don't know.
He's such a crazy kid.
What did he say now?
It's not what he said. It's what he does.
What did he do?
All of a sudden he gets out of bed and grabs me and dances me around.
Oh, you shouldn't let him. He's sick.
Who let him? All of a sudden he grabs me. He wanted to show me how well he's getting.
But Sarah...
The nurse came in and we put him back to bed.
What did she say?
He's such a crazy kid.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Pop.
Hello, Eddie. How are you?
Okay. Kind of sleepy.
Oh, shall we go out? You'll sleep a little.
Oh, no. I sleep all the time.
You hear the game last night?
Look, Pop, Mom. I want you to do something for me.
What do you want?
What is it?
Well, if some... Well, you know, if I die...
Eddie.
No, wait.
What's wrong?
Well, let's be grown up, all of us.
All right, Eddie.
You can never tell her these things. We have to be intelligent.
Sarah.
Mama, listen, please.
We're listening, son.
Well, if I should die...
Yes, Eddie.
You know the money you put away from my college.
We know.
Well, I want you to do something with it.
What, Eddie? What do you want?
Well, it's money for college. If I can't use it, let someone else.
How?
Oh, I don't know, Pop, but you save that money to send me through college and medical school. Use it to send someone else. Someone who couldn't go otherwise.
Yiskadal Yiskadash Meirabo Bialmodi Vroch Hiruse Biamliach Malchuse Bachayechon Ubiamechon Ubchayse Lichol Beis Yisroel Bagolo Bisman Koliv Vimru Omein.
Amen. Eddie Cohen died of leukemia. The promising young man, the promise erased. But Eddie left a will, nothing written because he owned no properties. He left a word, a sentence, a wish expressed to Sarah and Max Cohen. He bequeathed his promise and its fulfillment.
You're the principal, Dr. Brooke. You work it out.
Yes, we can work it out, Mr. Cohen. But wouldn't it be better to give a scholarship as a prize to the boy with the best grades? That's the usual way.
Well...
Yes, Mrs. Cohen?
You know when a boy deserves help. The teachers know. The money's for them.
This is not an honor for the one smartest boy in the school. Eddie won a lot of medals, Dr. Brooke. You gave him some yourself. We know how nice that feels. This is different. Like that, but different. Where does a boy with a mind like Eddie's, his promise, this money's for him?
Yes, I guess I understand.
If you know that a boy is leaving school because there's not enough money in the house, this money's for him.
We do lose a lot of promising youngsters that way.
If a boy graduates and the teachers know that he would make a fine chemist or engineer or doctor, but his family cannot afford to send him to college, this money's for him.
Maybe...
Yes? You were going to say something, Mrs. Cohen?
Maybe if all the boys who wanted to become doctors could be doctors, they would cure leukemia.
So the money that was put aside to send Eddie Cohen to college was spent, as Eddie wanted it spent. But how do you spend the emptiness in a house where a son has died? How do you fill the chair he sat in? How do you fill the silence left when his voice faded?
Mr. Cohen?
Yes?
I'm from the school.
The school?
The high school, where Eddie...
Yes, son, I know. Eddie's high school.
I got a Cohen scholarship.
That's fine. I'm glad.
I wanted to tell
you... It's all right. You don't have to thank us. We're glad.
But I wanted to tell you...
You don't have to thank us. We understand.
My name's Finelli. Joe Finelli. If you ever need something...
Sure, Joe. Thanks. Good night.
Who was it, Max?
Another boy from the scholarship. Joe Finelli. Nice-looking boy.
You talked to him so long at the door. Why didn't you invite him inside?
It makes me uncomfortable, Sarah. They're so grateful they sit here. We have nothing to say to each other.
Yes, we have nothing to say to them. They're not ours. Mrs. Fischel's daughter gave birth yesterday. A boy.
Fine. Fine. The new number's selling good. 3,000 dozen already.
That's good. That's good. Did you
on
see
the train down to... At least let's listen to the radio. Noise. Come, Sarah. Let's go to the movies. He was a good boy, Eddie. Remember?
Yes, Max. I remember. There's a movie.
Good football player, too. Huh? Movie? What movie? You want to go to the movies?
I guess we saw all the movies in the neighborhood. Look, Max, those shirts there. You need shirts.
Look, Sarah. Pink shirts. For men. Eddie would have liked those shirts.
Oh, Max. Max. Come. Let's walk.
Only a child fills a child's place. Only an unfolding promise can fill the eye gone blank when a promise was erased. But the world is full of people who need each other. And you.
Sarah, you home?
No, I'm in Macy's buying a hat. Where should I be, supper time?
I was just asking. I asked the boy to come over after supper.
A boy? What boy?
That boy that was here last week.
What boy? What's he coming for?
You remember, Sarah, that Joe Finelli, the scholarship boy?
Oh, I remember. And what's he coming for?
Yesterday I saw Mr. Honegger, the teacher. He was telling me about him. Joe's a smart boy, but he lives in 3 rooms. his mother, and 4 children.
5 people, 3 rooms.
He's studying now for exams, and the boy has no place to work, no place to study, no quiet. He was worried.
Who was worried? Mr. Honegger or the boy?
Both. Mr. Honegger got worried because the boy is trying for a college scholarship. He needs quiet. The boy is worried because he has no place to study.
So?
So I told the teacher to send the boy here.
But, Max, you were going to your lodge meeting tonight.
So tonight I won't go. I'll miss one.
Well, you can go. I'll be here.
No, they'll find another pinochle player.
All right, Max. We'll both stay. I'll get some cake.
Energy is equal to mass.
Joe.
Plus 1 over R sub... Yes, Mr. Cohn?
What are you studying?
Well, I'm a journalism major. This is physics, my toughest subject. Boy, what stuff.
Maybe I could help you?
Oh, that's all right, thanks. I'm doing fine.
Don't bother the boy, Max. Let him be.
I just thought it might go better. I used to hold the book for Eddie when he was studying formulas.
Gee, that might be a good idea, if you don't mind.
Oh, I'd like to do it. Here, give me the book.
Over here. You give me the first part, and I'll give you the formula.
I'll put up some tea. Do you like tea, Joe?
Oh, no thanks, Mrs. Cohn. I'm not hungry.
What's tea got to do with hungry? Sure, make tea, Sarah. Now, what's the formula for energy?
Oh, that's the easy one. MC squared.
Speed of a falling body?
1/2 GT squared.
And V?
V. Oh, that's
Square root of 2AS.
Oh, sure. Square root of 2AS. Uh-huh.
Index of refraction?
Index of refraction. Ooh.
Psi?
Give him a chance, Max. Let him think a while.
Who's rushing? Sure. Take your time, son.
Sine I over sine R. Got it.
Angular velocity?
Oh, that's one tough one I do know. MR omega squared.
You're doing fine, Joe.
Now, come, stop a while. Let's have some tea and cake.
Oh, gee, Mrs. Cohn, you don't know what
Oh,
this...
it's nothing, Joe. It's nothing. Come on, the tea.
Only the things of the Spirit are inexhaustible, and the things of the heart. But the things we buy, even promises, must be paid for in cash.
Ten boys have received monetary assistance to stay in undergraduate school. Medical graduates are now in 3 colleges under scholarships. With the exhaustion of the fund, our job is done. The students and faculty join me in extending our sincerest thanks. Very respectfully yours, William A. Brooke, Principal.
Our job is done.
How can it be done, Sarah? There are no more boys who need help?
Well, there'll always be boys, Max, and they'll always need help. But the money's gone. It wasn't enough.
Well, if it wasn't enough, we'll give them more.
But from where? How can we?
When Eddie was alive, we needed money. We were going to buy a house so he could bring a girl in. Maybe for an office. We saved so he could start practice without borrowing, without worrying. Even when you bought a new dress, it wasn't for me anymore, huh? It was to show off to Eddie and his friends.
Well, we still have to live, Max.
We'll live. The house we have, the fur coat you have, food we'll always have. What else do we need? We don't have to go on a trip around the world. You're my company and I'm your company.
Yes. We have enough.
But these boys, they haven't enough. They have dreams. But dreams cost money. We'll give them what we have.
Yes, Max.
So sit down and write a letter to Dr. Brooke.
A letter? You call him up. Maybe tomorrow before he opens his mail, a boy will come in and ask for help.
Item, a high school journalism office outfitted as a newspaper city room. Item, research equipment for the science laboratories. Item, a music lounge and library for the school. Item, dreams brought back from oblivion, promising young men being trained to fulfill their promise. How much does it cost? So many thousands of dollars. How much will it pay? Well, the reckonings are different. There's one reckoning for the boys, there's another for their parents. There's still a third for you and me.
Pop, Mom, I wanted to be a fireman when I was a kid. I got over that. Then I wanted to be a writer. I never would have gotten over that. Now I'll be one. Philly will be a doctor, Joel a chemist, Larry an engineer. The teachers used to call Eddie a promising young man. Well, whatever Eddie would have been to you, we'll be. Whatever promise Eddie made, we'll fulfill.
Joe, there are no promises. Not from you, not from Larry, not from any of you. You're not living Eddie's life. You're living your own. You'll be a good rider because you must be a good rider, not because of Eddie. Nobody has a commitment on another person's life. We didn't do this to make Eddies out of you. And we didn't do it out of charity, to store up long life or treasures in heaven. We did it because we had to. Because when we do it, Eddie is here. My grandfather used to tell me, don't worry about doing good. If you know that God made you, you have to be good.
If you would like a copy of today's script, please send your name and address with 10 cents to cover postage and handling to the Jewish Theological Seminary, 3080 Broadway, New York 27, New York. And now we take great pleasure in presenting Judge Jacob H. Livingston, Justice of the Supreme Court of the State of New York. Judge Livingston.
The Promising Young Man is a moving story. It is a true story, and it behooves us to note it well, for it is an account of a fulfillment as well as a loss. It tells of a family, a mother, a father, a son. The lives of the parents were wrapped up in their child. When he lived, his welfare was their chief concern, his education, his future, his success. Commendable, understandable, and to a degree desirable. When they were deprived of their son, a loss so great that it seemed despair must inevitably accompany it, they did not permit their horizons to close in upon them. Instead, they discovered a broader horizon, the scope of humanity. For faith is not a static thing, nor is service a limited concept. The ideals, aspirations, and promise which were embodied in their gifted son, they rediscovered in their efforts to help others. And the pleasure one derives from helping those near and dear to us is greatly multiplied when our help is extended to humanity in general. The theme is the same, helping one's family, but one realizes that the whole human race comprises one's family. Different colors, different religions, different languages, but still one family with kindred souls. That is why all the great philanthropic endeavors are family endeavors. And as one would not deem help to a brother or son an act of charity, so man's help to man is not charity. In each man is a promise which compels fulfillment, the promise of the dignity of mankind.
Thank you, Judge Livingston. Our Eternal Light drama today, The Promising Young Man, was written by Harry Gersh and was based on a true story. The music was composed by Morris Momorsky and conducted by Milton Catums. Cantor Robert Siegel sang the liturgical introduction. The production was under the direction of Frank Papp. The 1950 Red Cross campaign is now underway. Remember the Red Cross and give generously. You can help through your Red Cross. Free time to present The Eternal Light is made available by the National Broadcasting Company and its affiliated independent stations. This weekly program is presented under the auspices of the Jewish Theological Seminary of America. is NBC, the national broadcasting company.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Command the children of Israel that they bring unto thee pure oil olive, beaten for the light, to cause the lamps to burn continually in the tabernacle of the congregation. And it shall be a statute forever in your generations.
The Eternal Light. The National Broadcasting Company and its affiliated independent stations make free time available to present The Eternal Light, a program which comes to you under the auspices of the Jewish Theological Seminary of America. Our story today is Mrs. Steinberg's Partner in Heaven by Sylvia Berger.
It was twilight in December on Orchard Street when a kick from a potato peddler's horse sent Kornstein the candy store man flying into the seventh sphere. The horse had hardly put his foot down again when Kornstein heard the singing. To Nathan Kornstein, it seemed there was something familiar in the ring of the last ta-ta-ta-tee.
Hello, Nathan Kornstein. Welcome, welcome. Yisrael Yitzchak Steinberg.
Who else? How is the potato peddler?
When I left, he was still crying.
Ah, the unfortunate.
He fainted 3 times.
Kornstein, please.
I should have told the potato peddler not to aggravate himself, but you know how it is, Yisraelchik.
If the angel of death were to wait till everybody finished all his business on earth.
But such an innocent man, Yisrael Yitzchak. Such a harmless man. He wasn't even near the horse. I was nearer the horse than he was.
Otherwise, why should it kick you?
Now he's down there, fainting, crying. Yisraelchik, what if we were to send a message? Say something like, don't be aggravated. It wasn't your fault. Signed, Kornstein.
There's a precedent for a message.
By special messenger.
The messenger I have in mind is very special.
With experience?
Kornstein, did you ever count the stars in the sky?
Not since I was 4, Yisraelchik. There are too many.
That's why you can't count the messages my wife has carried from here.
Mrs. Steinberg? Fine woman. When I went to get my first job, Yisraelchik, the boss asked me a question. He said, Kornstein, that you are willing, I know, but Kornstein, what are your references?
You want my wife to produce references?
It's such an important message to deliver, Yisraelchik.
Right. You want some references. You remember our old apartment on Canal Street, Kornstein?
Above the butcher shop?
Well, it's early evening. In the apartment above the butcher store. The children are all home from school. Moisheler, Gittler, Birdler, Friedler. I'm home from work. We're hungry. We want our supper. Where is Mama?
Where is Mama Marshalla?
She went to Siegel's, Pa, to buy a pair of shoes.
So late? How long does it take to fit a pair of shoes?
Oh, there's Mama now. Ma?
Good evening, Marshalla. Good evening, Israel. Give me my apron, Marshalla. Please, darling. Supper will be on the table in a minute and a half. Oh, was I lucky today? Did I have a lucky day today?
How are you lucky, Ma?
Just hand me the egg beater from that hook there, Marshalla, please, darling. Supper will be on the table in 5, 10... You know the $5 you gave me for my shoes today, Israel Chick?
I know the $5.
Well, I pinned it into my pocketbook, nice and safe with a safety pin. A little salt, Marshalla, please, darling. So, supper will be on the table in 2, 3, and I'm on my way to catch the trolley car for Seals. When what do I see?
What do you see, Ma?
The trolley car is starting. What do? I start running. What happens? Mr. McGuire, the trolley man, sees me and holds the trolley car till I get on. Isn't that a lovely thing to do? I told him myself. I said, Mr. McGuire, you are loveliness personified.
That was lucky, Ma.
Wait. That was just the appetizer to my luck today. The big luck you haven't heard yet. I put the nickel into the box. For such luck to come to me, it flew right into my hands like this.
What was the luck, Itke?
I put my nickel into the box. I look around for a place to sit. When whom do I see? The grocer's youngest boy, the night student.
The one who was studying to be a doctor?
The one who was studying to be a doctor. What do I find out? He's lost his job at the factory. Without the job, he hasn't got the money for books. Without the books, he can't get through school. Without school...
So you gave him the $5 I gave you for a pair of shoes.
What do I need new shoes for? My old shoes fit me like stockings. Look, Israel, see how they have taken the shape of my toe?
But, Ma, what was the lucky thing that happened to you today?
What was the lucky thing that happened to me today? Marshalla, darling! Imagine if I had not caught the trolley car.
A nice little reference, Israel Chick. A deed of charity is always a nice little reference.
A nice little reference. What better reference can you want for a messenger from heaven?
Charity is good, Israel Chick. But better than charity is charity done in secret.
If that's what's worrying you, Kornstein, relax. You found your messenger. One day, Itke was coming home with a bundle of old clothes she had collected from the Navy.
Oh, be careful, Bertha. Don't drag that shirt in the snow.
I won't, Mama.
Oh, wasn't it lovely of Mrs. Rosen to give us all these nice clothes? You know, there are a lot of important people who can use them. Oh, let's just stop and rest a minute against the stoop here, darling, huh?
Papa will be mad when he finds out you carried such a heavy bundle again, Ma.
Will he, darling? And how do you know it's heavy? Did you weigh it?
I know what's in it.
So what's in it? A few baby dresses? How heavy is a baby dress if a baby can wear it?
There's a big heavy coat in it.
With empty pockets. How much does an empty pocket weigh? And what is lighter on a man's back on a cold winter day than a good warm coat? On a cold winter day, you... Oh, just a minute, darling.
Do you know that man, Ma?
I'll be back in a minute, darling.
Mom, wait for me.
Gentlemen, just a minute, gentlemen. Gentlemen, please.
Were you calling?
Yes, sir. Please excuse me for bothering you, but don't we know each other from someplace?
I don't think so.
Isn't it funny? I would have sworn... Weren't you at Cousin Essie's Sweet 16 party last April?
I don't know Cousin Essie.
How do you like that? And I would have sworn... The gentleman even resembles Cousin Essie, doesn't he, Bertha? Especially around the eyebrows.
I don't know, Mom.
Well, I'm sorry for the mistake, gentlemen.
You did no harm.
Then maybe you could do me a favor. Bertie, dear, open the bundle for me, quick, darling. I hate to ask this, but if you could see your way clear to taking this coat off my hands.
I don't understand.
And now, Bertie, maybe you'll stop threatening me with Papa, please. You hear? Not a single threat more. I was supposed to give this coat to somebody who doesn't want it, and when my husband finds out that I was carrying such a heavy bundle for nothing, you heard what my child said, he'll be very mad. Help the gentleman on with the left sleeve, Bertie. There you are. Now. Oh, I don't know how to thank you. You see, Bertie, darling, didn't I tell you?
When you're frightened or in trouble, don't ever lose hope. Sooner or later, a kind soul will come along and help you. Well, now we'll have to hurry along, Bertie, dear. Papa will be wondering where... Oh, goodbye, gentlemen, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Mom.
Yes, darling?
How did you know he wanted a coat, Mom?
Because I could see, dear. On a day like this, an intelligent-looking gentleman like that would have enough sense to wear one, if he had one.
Mama.
Yes, dear?
Who is Cousin Essie?
Cousin Essie? Did I say Cousin Essie? I must have made a mistake, darling. We have no Cousin Essie.
Well, Constantine, what do you say? Will you let her take the message?
Not bad, not bad. Delicately handled. But, I don't know.
What don't you know?
I don't know, you said. A case like the potato peddler, you've got to know how to talk in a case like that.
How to talk? If it comes to helping someone who needs help, my wife, Constantine, can talk teeth into a man's mouth.
Is there anyone else in the waiting room, Miss Gross?
I am in, Dr. Miller. Don't trouble yourself, Miss Gross. I'm in already. Oh, how are you this morning, Dr. Miller? You're looking wonderful.
Thank you, Mrs. Steinberg. And what can I do for you? Trouble with the tooth?
Trouble with the tooth with a dentist like you? I was telling my Gittler. I said, Gittler, if you're sewing a button on a coat, sew it on the way Dr. Miller puts in a filling. So even when the whole coat goes, the button is still there.
A very fine recommendation, Mrs. Steinberg.
Thank you. I told my Gittler. I said, Gittler, did you ever stop to think why a man was given 32 teeth? So he could eat like a man. If the Lord had wanted to give a man 2 teeth, he would have made him into a chicken.
How true.
That's why Mr. Proshansky came to you.
Mr. Proshansky?
I told him. I said, all right, Mr. Proshansky, so you need a new plate. But why do you have to bring your lack of business to a cool stranger? Can't you help an old friend like Dr. Miller?
Mrs. Steinberg.
I said, Dr. Miller can make a plate for money any time, but how many times can he make a plate for someone who can't afford it? I said, are you going to rob him of his partnership?
Partnership?
I told him. I said, when a dentist gives a man a set of teeth for money, he's running a business. But when he does it for nothing, he's running a partnership with the Lord. Do you want me to call in Mr. Proshansky now?
Sure, right now.
The dentist will see you now, Mr. Proshansky. Oh, Dr. Miller, you should be the president. Why, do you know what this country would be like if you were president?
Nothing, Mrs. Steinberg, compared to what it would be like if you were president.
A thoroughly enjoyable woman, Israel. A lovely character. Your wife is not only a doer of good deeds, she's a teacher of good deeds.
A lovely character, Constance.
What's the matter?
I was thinking of the beaded dress and the linen tablecloth.
What linen tablecloth and what beaded dress?
Sophie Zilberstone's beaded dress.
Sophie Zilberstone? The millionaire's wife?
The wheel turns, Constantine. The poor become rich, and the rich become poor.
You helped Sophie Zilberstone?
Well, in a manner of speaking.
Well, in a manner of speaking, Friedela, this is an old tablecloth. But just look at it. Feel how fine it is.
Mama, please. I know Sophie Zilberstone is too proud to accept charity, but you've already sold her tea set for $10 and given her $20. You've sold her old squirrel muff for $8 and told her it brought $28.
So your husband is making a living, Friedela.
Yes, Mama, he is.
You've got your health.
I have, Mama.
Your children are healthy and happy, bless them.
Yes, Mama, they are.
So how are you going to show your gratitude? Not by helping somebody, 1, whose husband is not making a living, 2, who's lost her own health worrying over the health and happiness of her children.
Oh,
How much are you going to tell her you got paid for the tablecloth? $35. I can give her just $35 for the tablecloth, Friedela. You see, because I got $50 for the beaded dress. Mama. Yes, Friedela? You didn't sell that old beaded dress for $50. The beads would make a lovely lampshade. Mama, to what poor unfortunate did you sell that old beaded dress for $50? To Papa.
I like her, you Francis. I like her. A lovely woman.
A lovely woman, Constantine. She bought cherries in the wintertime. Oh, not for us, Constantine. Not for us. For those who couldn't afford it.
And why?
Why, Bertula? I'll tell you why. These people once had money, yes?
Yes.
And they had to go to others for food, yes?
Yes, Mama.
So should we add to the misery of their poverty the shame of worrying how they look in other people's eyes? I bought them cherries in the wintertime, Bertula, because I want them to know that in my eyes they will always be rich. Oh, good, Bertula, darling. La 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 glow and glimmer, mashallah. Oh, get a lovely Bertie, darling, positively lovely. La la Frida la, mashallah. Oh, play a little louder, darling, so we can all enjoy it. Oh, la 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 la, glow and glimmer. Oh, glimmer, Bertie la. Practice. Someday, who knows, darling? Mom. Oh, hello, Marcella. You're back from school already? Go in the kitchen and get a glass of milk, dear.
Ma, there are two strangers in my room.
Oh, I know, dear. I put them there. They're very important people, darling. They haven't any money.
Ma, where am I going to sleep?
You sleep in Papa's room, dear. Louder, Bertie, please. How do you like your sister's playing, Marcella? Doesn't she have golden fingers?
Ma.
What is it, dear?
I can't sleep in Papa's room, Ma. Don't you remember? That old man is in there. The one who was put out of his house.
Oh, that's right. I was out all day, so I lost track of the arrangements. He's a very important person, darling. He's homeless. Now, let me see how we can... Bertula! How many people are staying in your room this week?
4, Mama. Me and Gertrude and Frida and Miss Thorgensen.
Oh, a very important person, darling. She is studying to become a citizen. Oh, Miss Thorgensen. Good evening, Miss Thorgensen. Get Miss Thorgensen a chair, Marcella.
Oh, no, thank you very much. Don't you bother, Marcella. I cannot stay. I just came to find out something. Look, it says here, Mrs. Steinberg.
Yes?
Who was the first president of the United States?
The first president? Christopher Columbus, Miss Thorgensen. He came on the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria.
Mrs. Steinberg, yeah, thank you. You know, you cannot make a mistake at these citizenship hearings.
No, you certainly cannot, Miss Thorgensen. You see, children, how much you have to know to become a citizen. You have to know...
The first president of the United States was George Washington, Ma.
Oh, my goodness. Miss Thorgensen! A correction, Miss Thorgensen?
Oh, yeah. What is it, Mrs. Steinberg?
The first president was George Washington, Miss Thorgensen. George Washington. Marshalla just told me.
Oh, thank you, Mrs. Steinberg. And thank you, Marshalla.
Oh, you see, children, you see how the Lord helps us at every step. If Miss Thorgensen hadn't needed a place to live, I would never have found out the name of the first president of the United States. Oh, it's a lovely world, children. A beautiful world.
My teacher says the world is round as a ball.
Round as a ball? You see how the work of the Lord is perfect? Round as a ball. What can be more perfect than round?
It's all cut up with lines running up and down and on all sides.
Oh.
Longitudes, they call them, Ma, and latitudes.
Longitudes and latitudes. Oh, better and better. You see how it is, children? You see how it is? How much can man see of the big perfectness that is the world? Less than the eyes of a fly can see of an apple. So what has been done for us? The big world has been divided for us into little sections, and each little section is held in a latitude and a longitude. And between each latitude and longitude are blue waters and winking and green earth greening and people studying and playing piano and whose hand holds the latitudes and the longitudes like a beautiful golden net spread around us for our safety. A hand too wonderful to pass my lips. So play, Birdala. La 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 la, Birdala, Maishala, glowworm play. Play nice and loud, darling, so we can hear how happy we are in this wonderful world. La 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 la, Friedala, glowworm glimmer, Friedala, la 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 la.
Tam-ra-ra-ra, tam-ra-ra-ra, tam-ra-ra-ree-ra-ra-ra-ra-ree, tam-ra-ra-ra, tam-ra-ra-ra, tam-ra-ra-ree-ra-ree-ra-ra-ra-ra.
Kornstein.
Yes, Yisraelchik.
You sound happy, Kornstein.
I am happy, Yisraelchik.
You found your messenger, Kornstein?
I have found my messenger, Yisraelchik. Tam-ra-ra-ra, tam-ra-ra-ra, tam-ra-ra-ra-ra-ra-ra-ra, tam-ra-ra-ra, tam-ra-ra-ra, tam-ra-ra-ra.
Mama! Ma!
Oh, yes, Marshalla.
There's a strange man and woman in the parlor, Ma.
Yes, darling, I know. Marshalla.
Yes, Ma?
I would like to ask your opinion on something, darling.
Sure, Ma.
Let us say, Marshalla, that there is a father of many sons. You're listening, Marshalla?
I'm listening, Ma.
And he gave one of his sons a ball to play with. And one day, as he was playing ball base...
Baseball, Ma.
Baseball. The son slipped and fell. And as he fell, the ball flew out of his hand and hit one of his brothers. And the little boy became so scared, so unhappy and scared at what had happened, that he became sick. What would you do, Marshalla, to make the little boy well again?
Did the boy's brother know he didn't mean to hit him with a ball, Ma?
The brother knew.
Did the father know he didn't mean to hit him with a ball?
The father knew.
Did the boy know they knew? Why'd you just kiss me, Mother?
Because you are wise, darling, and I was foolish. We are all our Father's children, and our Father, blessed be his name, knows our thoughts and our deeds. And, Marshalla, will a father stop loving a child simply because he slipped and fell?
Where are you going, Ma?
I'm going to have a little talk with our guests, Marshalla.
Are they important people, Ma?
Yes, Marshalla, very important people. They are a potato peddler and his wife. Tam-ta-ra, tam-ta-ra-ra, tam-ta-ra-ra, tim-ti-ta-ra-ra, tam-ta-ra-ra, rim-ta-ra-ra, rim-ta-ra-ra-ra, turururu, ta-ta-ta-ta-ra-ra-rim-ram, tim-tim-ru-ra-ra-ri-ra-ra-ram.
If you would like a copy of today's script, please send your name and address with 10 cents to cover cost of postage and handling to the Jewish Theological Seminary, 3080 Broadway, New York 27, New York. The address again is the Jewish Theological Seminary, 3080 Broadway, New York 27, New York. And now we take great pleasure in presenting Dr. Joachim Prince, Rabbi of Temple B'nai Abraham of Newark, New Jersey. Dr. Prince.
We live in a complex world. It is difficult to understand our daily living without acquiring a knowledge of physics and chemistry and mechanical and economic complexities. Religion, unfortunately, has become part of the complicated living of our centuries. It expresses itself either in involved theology understandable only to the theologian who received his proper training in the various political and administrative mechanics which are so typical of the hustle and bustle of organized religion. It is good, therefore, to listen to the simple story which we just heard, for this story deals with the very core of religious conduct. These are the stories of simple people who happen to be Jews. Their conduct in life, their attitude toward people, their desire to help, their innate kindness stem from their ancient tradition. For Judaism, as well as other religions, stripped to its essentials and basic values, can still be boiled down to the admonition, "Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself." It is good to be reminded of this in a world which seems to have lost its understanding, its knowledge, its desire for human simplicity, for life and religion without college degrees, for that which is prompted by the human heart and the capacity for goodness rather than by complicated thinking. It is good to remember what one great Jewish thinker, Achat Ha'am, once said: there are three Torahs, the written law, the law that is handed down from generation to generation, and Torah Shebalev, which is the Torah of the human heart. Out of the involved complexities of our life, there grows a yearning and longing of millions of people for a simple religion which translates itself into the daily reality of the good deed. Out of the anguish and the anxiety and the fears of our time, there grows a prayer of men and women that the religion of the human heart may give them new hope and new faith in the eternal values which are common to all good people and all religions of the world.
Thank you, Dr. Prince. Our Eternal Light drama today was Mrs. Steinberg's Partner in Heaven by Sylvia Berger. The music was composed by Morris Momorsky and conducted by Milton Cadams. Cantor David Putterman sang the liturgical introduction. Adelaide Klein was featured as Mrs. Steinberg. Mr. Steinberg was played by Joe DeSantis and Kornstein by Peter Capell. The production was under the direction of Frank Papp. Free time to present the Eternal Light is made available by the National Broadcasting Company and its affiliated independent stations. This weekly program is presented under the auspices of the Jewish Theological Seminary of America. This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.